All right, welcome everyone to episode 104, Tattoo Collecting 101, right here on Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo. We beam out nearly every day, so be sure to check out the full schedule events we got going on the YouTube page or on reinventingthetattoo.com. If you haven't joined us before, Reinventing the Tattoo is a community for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and all those who are curious about the world of tattooing. We aim to educate and inspire each other to make better art and to make the world of tattooing a little bit better than how we found it. So be sure to share this with anyone that you might think is interested in tattooing or tattooing related content, and don't miss out all the amazing educational content we put out. Thanks, Ben. Real quick, just want to say thank you to our sponsors, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you to Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source with their acrylic-free inks. World Tattoo Events, which has the largest, most comprehensive list of all the tattoo conventions going on in the world right now. DLI's Pro, known as Dermalize Worldwide, is designed by wound care specialists specifically for healing tattoos, so be sure to check it out. As well as Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers, the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattooers of all levels. We also just want to say thanks real quick to the Fireside Tattoo Network, as well as the Apprenticeships Diaries. And lastly, if you want to be one of those sponsors or reach out with any form of criticism, please be sure to message management at reinventingthetattoo.com.
Or call 1-800-WE-DON'T-GIVE-A-FUCK.
Amen. So how are you, Ben?
Oh, you know, living the dream.
The dream is living.
Rolling, sure. Making doobies and taking names, I guess.
That's all you can ask for these days.
I mean, sure. How's Kyle?
Not too bad. Another day in the life, you know.
How's the work been? I know you've been the new person at the True Tubes warehouse. Are you liking it?
It's been great being able to just learn how it all works, familiarize myself with products of tattooing, and learn just another side of the tattoo world. It's been great so far. Can't really complain.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We've also got Fawn in the background driving.
Fantastic. She's on a secret mission.
Popping in and out today.
Secret mission.
I'm here. I'll bring you guys some awesome footage next week.
Awesome.
I'm perpetually behind schedule. If I wasn't behind schedule, I would be able to connect with you more solidly and do both. But me being me and not punctual.
Fawn, I've been here grand total of 4 minutes.
I'm gonna bring
like I get it.
Like 10. Give yourself some cred.
Yeah, but I'm like hours behind schedule, not like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? A slacker.
That's fair. I gauge my Fawn time as like an appointment with the fucking cable guy. So I get a AM or a PM window.
5 p.m.
And then what we do is we ask for an allotted time slot after that. See, so Fawn's like PM. I'm like, cool. Do we do like 6 to 10?
Well,
like 5 to 8.
It's kind of like if I'm working on somebody and I'm like, I've only got an hour left. Cut to 3.5 hours later.
That's a fucking lie.
Exist. It wasn't in the plan, but it happened.
It was just an extra 5 tattoo minutes.
But I mean, there's beauty in that freedom though, and as art goes, I would never want somebody to be like, yeah, hour left, and there'd be 3 hours worth of work left, and then them stop after an hour. So like, you do you, boo boo. My thing is I never want to know, ever, especially in the process of being tattooed.
Yeah,
I never want to fucking know. If you just started, I know that. I've been here the whole time. I don't want updates. I want you to be like, okay, let's go check that out in the mirror. That's the only like verbiage I want as far as how long you're planning on working.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too, where it's like, once you know how much time is left, or you think
I'm counting it down.
Exactly. You're just counting it down.
You hit 15 minutes in 1 second. I'm like, fucking wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a double entendre because it's a tattoo and you got to wrap it up. Like you got to package it together.
Hey, nice job. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So this isn't tattoo related, but yesterday I had one of my dentist appointments that I both love and hate, but mostly hate. And so they do this thing when they're putting the like Novocaine, when they're like putting that injection of the stuff in, it's like the most painful part of the whole appointment. But when you feel that pinch, she counts down and she's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then she'll be like 3, 2, 1. So like it gives me a like, how long is this gonna suck? It really helps for those like short durations. But I agree with you guys for like the tattoo pain. Sometimes it's better not to know, just so you can.
Well, it's just like the piercer that they're like, okay, deep breath, 3, 2, and on 2 they poke you, and I'm like, we could have just not said anything.
Could have just done it.
You could have just pierced me, and I would not be upset right now. I was okay with being stabbed with a needle until you tricked me. And now I feel used and dirty somehow. I don't.
Just like that needle.
So yeah. Or deep breath, and then the first time they pierce you, they did you on the exhale, and the second time they get you as you're breathing in.
The exhale. When I'm in a crazy spot with my clients too, I kind of do that. I kind of like just feel how they're breathing. Like let's say we're in like an armpit area or like a sternum kind of area. Before I like introduce the needle into the skin, I kind of feel how they're breathing, and like when they take that breath in, that's when I introduce the pain into the skin, because they can exhale, and by that exhale, they're starting to cope. So I don't know, it seems to really help to start the pain at the peak of that inhale.
It also helps them not pass out, because
Fair.
without the availability to breathe out, most people's pain is not. It's so like if your natural reaction is the opposite of what it should be, you might not have oxygen and pass out. I know I take it straight to gloom and doom, but that's kind of my job.
You're good at gloom and doom, Ben. You're good at it.
I've had a lot of fucking practice at it. It's just one of those things that comes natural to me.
Oh, Ben. Gloomiest ray of sunshine I know.
I need a fucking t-shirt that says that, because that's like the goddamn truth. Like, I promise I'm trying to be happy.
Well put.
How's your tattoo healing up, Ben?
What's that?
How's your tattoo healing up? Was that last week?
It's doing pretty good. I've got a couple little teeny tiny small rough spots, less than the tip of my pinky.
Nice. It's still a little.
That I mean, for where it is too, having to wear pants, and underwear and stuff, it kind of makes it's right on that like line. And I went as long as I could, leaving it as open as possible. But people expect me to wear underwear at work now. What's my guys? It's just a little penis. It's just a little bit of penis in your day.
I never heard anyone.
It is okay. If you would just stop staring at my junk, that would probably solve the problem. Eyes up front. But here we are.
Eyes up here. Eyes up here.
My eyes are up here. My face. Sorry, Kyle. It's gonna smell like a fart here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's my bad.
It's okay.
Okay.
I don't have a choice, do I?
No. It's a giant warehouse. It might breathe the other way. You never know.
Well,
yeah. I don't know how chicks do it. If I knew that I was being oodled all day, like you would catch me in like a moo-moo constantly. I would intentionally be non-flattering on purpose, because that's some bullshit. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw an I'm sorry out there, because my bad. So Kyle,
So Ben,
what painting are you doing? I see it over there, but you need to explain it to me.
yes, it's an album cover.
That's
Trivium.
vague.
Well, I was about to explain it. I was just
My joke doesn't work if you cut me off, Kyle.
my explanation doesn't work if you cut me off, Ben.
I know, but it makes the joke funnier. So
Okay, well, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll
still
roll with the joke
friends.
next
I
time.
love
Yeah. It is the Trivium the Crusade album cover based off of it. The general concept is about the same. But other than that, I'm just kind of rolling with wherever it wants to go.
Can you bring it up on show it off?
I mean, I thought about doing that, but like, you know, Kyle and thinking things through, it's not a strong point.
Just the camera.
So once Kyle gets his life together, as we throw random things at him.
Why is it present?
Because that's what life is about. Fawn, what painting are you working on right now?
Right now, well, I just recently varnished several paintings. Right now I have the ribcage one that I've been working on for a while on Ricardo's show on Tuesdays when I join in the mornings. It's one of the ones I've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
Like this weird, it's got this blue glow through the middle of it. And then I pulled a painting out of my basement. I dusted off from my like stack of started but not finished work, and it's got like this blimp thing that looks like a ray gun floating through this like surreal other dimension. So those are the two.
Nice.
Sorry, Steve. Jordan?
Hey, we got a surprise guest sneaking in.
J Doggy.
We'll make it work. Just get tight. I'm sure you can't hang out forever. I got some volume on you, Bubby. Go ahead.
Testing.
Talk about your testes.
My testings. Oh, and my volumes were down.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute your line before I turn it all the way up. You want to try now?
I can hear me now. Oh wait, no, I can. I cannot. I can now. Oh, we got a connection.
There we are.
There we go.
Okay.
Everybody, welcome J Doggy, OG ass tattoo collecting motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm
What's
here.
up?
I miss you guys. Every time I get on, I tell you how much I miss you, but
Well,
it's
we
true.
miss you too. I mean, show aside, like life, I miss you
No, that's what I mean.
because like homies are rare, you know, and I've been realizing that a lot more now. And I have been extremely poor about recognizing real personal connections and putting an effort to maintain those. And I am on a mission to try to like put back out to people, because like it's been weird, man.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's been on my mind a ton lately with a lot of things in my life for sure. I get very into what I'm doing in life, and I tend to just not communicate with people a lot, and I feel like a lot of those things are coming up with like God does so many friends that I've had where it's like, God, I'm exactly what you're saying. It's becoming so much more important that the work that I put in to my relationships, you
Right.
know, not taking people for granted and not taking, anything for granted, and realizing that it takes work to maintain relationships, not just your girlfriend, fiance, wife, and
Right.
even your brotherly friendships and all that.
It
and
gets to a point where you're like, fuck, I'm upset, I need someone to talk to, and then you're like, well, I don't want to bother this person, I haven't talked to them in a couple of weeks, I don't want to bother this person because I haven't talked to them in a couple of weeks. Or fuck, I want to celebrate, I'm in a good mood and having a great day. Well, I don't know what their schedule's like, I haven't talked to them in a couple of weeks, they're probably not going to be free because I don't know what their schedule. Like, just staying plugged in to people that give a fuck about you is I'm finding super fucking important, to keep the support network up.
No.
No, 100%.
I've been making the calls recently to some of my friends back home, some of the
Nice.
people. But it's like just trying to figure out like, is now a good time? Well, I won't know if I don't call.
Right.
It's always a good time. That's what sometimes I'll like want to reach out to people I haven't talked to in a long time, and I'll even write a text and I'll be like, You're not right now. And then like and then I catch myself, I'm like, why am I doing that? It's because I realize like you feel the guilt or something
Yeah,
from now,
or
like
you
reaching
feel like
out
a
in so
burden.
long, and then you feel like you gotta explain yourself and all
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And then you realize all that thought process is really selfish because you really didn't need to think about any of that. You started thinking about how you felt about it when it's really like you wanted to reach out to your friend.
Should have pressed send.
How do they feel? You've thought enough about how you feel. How do they feel?
Not even that. It's more of I get into a place where I feel like I am an imposition on everybody, no matter what. Even just answering that hello text, I get to the point where because I get recluse and I get in my own head where I'm like, well, nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants to hear from me, and now I'm bothering you by you answering the phone. I'm making it an imposition in your life to deal with me. And that gets tricky after a while, because then you start thinking everybody hates you, and it's weird. And I've been in that loop, man. And now I'm really just now starting to come out of it and really having this like, oh, the people that give a shit, I've really not paid attention to.
Right. I imagine that you want to slowly stop talking to people when you get that reaction all the time that, it's not
Right.
I don't know. You want to just like not talk to people at the end of the day, where it's like, I want to just go home. I don't want to sit and text or talk on the phone anymore and stuff. And I'm sure it comes to a point where it's like, shit, I need to talk to somebody that
Right.
like wants to fucking talk to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I work in an office with a lot of not like-minded people. So it's hard to, I don't want to say maintain a relationship, because I mean, I see him every day. I talk to him every day, but like the things I think are cool are not the same things that they think are cool. So like our celebrations are different. What I'm excited about, they just kind of look at me and they're like, okay, I'm happy for you, I think. Like we're just on two totally different planes of existence, to where it's hard to have that connection.
Yeah.
So like being in the groove and being in the tribe of people that are also like, that was fucking sweet, I'm proud of you, that's amazing. I need that.
Yeah.
I need that.
I feel like as humans, we definitely need that. We definitely need that.
Even if it's a, hey man, nice shirt, I like your new glasses,
Love
bro.
your shirt.
They look fucking great.
Thank you.
It's not a need. It doesn't need to be a lot, but having some sort of positive in your days, it makes a fucking difference, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that long sappy rant to say I miss you, and we need to fucking hang out.
That being said, 1,000,000 times over, let's make that shit happen right away.
For sure.
Right away. No, it's funny that you bring it up, because it's been on my mind so much lately that it's like, I feel like things get brought up at the right time, if it's a good reminder for anyone else out there at the same time,
Reach out to your homies. They might need a fucking hug.
we all out here living a lot of life, but
Just send a
for
text.
the
Say
people that
hello, how
are
you?
in it together and that have been in it with you together,
Well,
don't take it for granted.
A lot of people don't have a tribe, and I know it's like that is the coolest thing about being a collector.
You think it's that?
To wrap it around to being in the show, we've got a built-in family. Like I especially take for granted the luxury that I'm afforded a lot by being able to be involved in this group and being able to be involved in the Hell City and the Red Tree fam, and to have that welcome. It's the only real connections I get, you know what I mean? So like outside of my daughter, I don't family a lot. So like being able to have that, always have a place to go. Every time there's a get together, I'm invited. Every time that there's a celebration, I'm there. Every sad moment, every moment that somebody needs help, I'm involved in. And it makes you feel loved, welcomed, encompassed. And it's hard to find that. And fuck, it's tough to maintain. And I've noticed that I'm fucking it up. I got to start paying attention to the people that actually give a shit.
Not fucking
reciprocating.
But when we start feeling it, it's a good reminder of what's there and to start working at it. But always reminding ourselves, I do feel like that, like we're not hated, and even if it's been a while since we've talked to our friends, that like they're still there.
Yeah,
they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're your friends.
But if you don't fucking do shit about it,
they won't be there forever.
Fucking silence is dissonance. It's creates
If you don't speak, forget about you.
What's the Robin Hood line?
Cold silence has a tendency to atrophy any sense of compassion, is what a wise man once said.
Ooh. What the chicken in Robin Hood Disney said was absence makes the heart grow fonder or forgetful. Bum, bum, bum.
I'm gonna have to end on that note because my client is upstairs and
Well,
he knows
client,
taking a
sorry to
food and
keep
smoke
you.
break and it's time to go. But gotta love you
you,
guys.
Jordan.
And a good reminder.
Thanks for
I
Yeah.
love all you guys.
Jordan.
Let's hang out. Thank you,
Great to-
Fawn. I love you, Fawn.
I love you, Jordan.
She said, love you, Jordan.
Yes.
All right,
I will.
I am going to crawl out of Kyle's ass and back over here. I love you, but I am a wide human being
It's okay. It happens.
and enjoy my sprawl space. Love you, brother.
Later.
He just left this giant fucking thing here too. Like I'm I guess I'll deal with it.
Save it for the next flight. He's like, you're welcome. It's a gift.
It is a gift.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep on giving. And I'm just gonna put it right here. Because we're smoking too many things.
Do you want this or no?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, to cycle back then, you were asking me about my painting. Well, I've got a camera angle for it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool, Bobby.
I'm kind of at a point with it where it's like I'm not really sure where to go next. So I'm kind of taking the time to step back for a moment and just do some sketching on the iPad.
Nice. Let
Figure it
it
out.
chill for a sec.
Yeah.
Regain some inspiration.
Yeah.
So you see the part in the very bottom lower left corner, like
Mhm.
all the way down to the very, very tip of that.
Right.
I could probably do that.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Yes. I can see that.
Just that single, like just black.
That bit of
spot.
black. Just a bit of purple over it.
No,
too?
no, just the black
Just
part.
that.
You're a little too far over.
Okay. No, that's
But
fine.
yeah, I think I could manage that.
I was just zooming out a little, giving you some credit.
No, man, don't stretch my skill.
Okay, sure.
No, man, super,
Size of
super
the
dope.
spoon, I get you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, super dope. Looks good.
I think it's worth mentioning that this is Kyle's first like large oil painting, like his first oil painting project of this size. He's like several layers in on this, and like the lightning in the hair is starting to balance out. The sword, like the reflections are starting to read really nice. So this is like the first real attempt at a large thing of this nature. So I just think that's extra important to point out. This is incredibly
it's like the
successful
first
for its
major
early-
oil painting and also the first like largest. This is like the largest painting I've ever done. The largest one I did before this was like 8x12.
Oh, nice.
So this is massively larger.
The last paint by number I did was like 8x4, and I still didn't get it done.
It's a lot of space.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's a lot of paint.
it is.
Can you share the reference you're working off of, Kyle? Also,
I can pull it up here.
Come on, Kyle. You said it was Trivium?
Yes, the
Trivium's
Crusade.
bad fucking ass. Can we start with that?
Dude, they're like one of my top 3 favorite bands.
Oh, yeah.
Musical inspiration. They fucking rock.
Musical inspiration. You want to talk about something I haven't had in a long time? Some goddamn musical inspiration.
You got to get inspired, man.
I've been trying. I've been really wanting to play music lately. So any of the local homies that jam, hit me up because I suck, but like I like to play.
So here's the album cover that's based off of. Subject matter is pretty much the same, but you know, I'm trying not to just bar for bar copy it and try to kind of wing it a bit,
Wing
add my own touch.
I like your touches.
Yeah, thank you.
Good work, Bubby.
Yeah.
Good work. Fawn's coming over. Next time she comes to my house, we're gonna paint snails.
You're finally getting on your snails.
And it's not finally, man. It's just
Hey, you
it's-
got to practice.
It's just slow. I gotta perfect it.
Practice is
Perfect
perfect.
it. It's gonna be good. I'm pretty excited about it.
Are you committing to your single line little curly Q of a snail? Or are you gonna venture out a little bit?
Yeah, I'm pretty solid on just keeping it super simple.
Okay,
Probably be super tradish for a long time.
that's fair. You gonna add color at all or no?
I mean, you might get like a brown,
Brown.
maybe a yellow,
Browns and yellows are good.
something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe start with a yellow, then when I fuck that up, I'll cover it up in brown. You know, type of thing.
It's fair.
It's probably what I
Could
have.
also take the yellow and make it green.
What are you doing in there? I don't.
I'm
I
just-
don't.
I'm
I don't
giving
think. I don't think that's a thing, Kyle.
I'm just giving you an idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that what they feel like?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't have them very often.
maybe
so
I'm just not used to it. You just need to practice.
do you not have ideas?
And I am very not an idea guy. I need somebody else to have a problem before I have an idea. Like,
You're the doer.
yeah. Like if you're like, hey, this problem exists, I'm like, I got you. Here's a solution. But like to create is difficult for me. Same with playing music. If somebody else is already playing, I can play along. Name a style. Name it. Like I don't give a shit what it is. Like fucking, I'll pick it up. But if you're like, hey, here's the guitar, I'm going to play the same 4 songs I've played since I was 7.
Yeah.
And
I do the same.
you know, like
I like to pretend like I'm finding some chords and then end up just landing on Photograph by Nickelback. I'm like, yeah. Just go straight.
that's hilarious. It's funny because like the couple songs that I do know, I know fairly well, again, because I've been playing them for a really long time. So somebody will hear me just like get out on something just horribly ratchet, and they're just like, "Oh, well, you're new," and I'm like, "Well, I got this one."
Actually, it's just a song that I know.
Play it all intricate-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lack original creativity. I brought a cooler, right, guys, and I am so fat
Did you?
that it is underneath me and I couldn't see it. Oh, that's where we're at with our lives.
Bam. There she is.
Shika, shika.
So what paintings have you been working on? Asking everyone out. Hey, we're asking what they're painting.
My job is to bring up content, not to be involved in the content.
Well, that's fair. Look at that content right there.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I got the Holy Trinity over here, guys. Coke, O-Cola, sugar-free Red Bull, liquid. We're not sponsored. I mean, this bare can of whiteness, that's not a product.
That's okay.
If they didn't want me to advertise their can, they shouldn't have made it so goddamn.
It was very cool marketing.
It is. And I never would have purchased one of these until somebody handed me one. And I drank it and I was like, it's actually really fucking good for a can of water.
It is a can of water. Yeah.
Just a can of water.
I paid $5 for one at a concert. I know, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry, bud.
Me too. It was like the one time I had cash on me too. I was like, yeah, okay, I won't whip out the card and I'll do cash. And it's like, no cash bar.
Oops.
Thanks, Live Nation. If you're watching, I hate you.
Live Nation is changed hands a couple of times over the years, so the rules keep changing, and so it's one of those places every time I'm going like, well, what do you need now? Okay, this is
Dude,
what we're
so
doing.
the venue I went to, it was called the Murat, and I think I talked about it before after I went to the show, but it was like super cool Egyptian themed and everything,
Oh yeah,
and like beautiful architecture to it. And then you walk in the building and you see the Live Nation fucking security check and all their rules and stuff, and it's like, oh, here we go. Okay, way to ruin this venue.
I did a fun thing today. My job sometimes requires me to walk into government buildings, and so this morning I'm walking in and I go to the front door and I pull the front door open and I'm like, oh, that's right, there's a fucking government security check, and I like back out the door like and,
You're like, if I don't step in, it doesn't count.
I just kind of peeked my head in. I wasn't actually in
Just
the building.
scoping it out.
So I went back out to the car and took off my belt knife and some materials that were in my pocket. And I kind of went back like.
Good call.
No, it was rough, man. I walked back in and the wonderful on-duty security person, what are you here for? And like starts giving me the fucking 3rd degree, and I'm just like, hey, bud, calm your tits, like just easy. I don't know why you're making this so awkward, but it's really weird now.
All I did was walk in the door. I'm just trying to do my job here.
Like, it made me give him a syllabus of my day while I was there and what I was there to do. And I'm just kind of like, hey, bud, you're a security guard. Like, it's not that serious. Like, just, why are you mad? We can do all the things. I've got no problem with you doing your job. None whatsoever. I look like a hooligan. I fucking get it. But I came through. I answered your questions. I was nice about it. I even said, hey, how's your day? And what I got was, what are you here for? And it's just like,
Relax, bro.
just take a deep fucking breath before I whip your fucking ass, bro. Because like I'm just not that guy. Like I'm
not here to cause trouble. You're just doing
I'm smiling. I'm in a good mood. Like, why? So he started getting like angry, and I'm like, wow, I hope you have a good day. So I just lay it on extra fucking thick, right? And I put all my accoutrements into their little fucking scanner thing, and I ran my basket through and walked through the metal detector, and there's literally 3 sheriffs on the other side of the metal detector. And I'm
what
like,
kind of government building was this?
I'd prefer not to express that on the air,
That's
but
fair.
like, so
Okay.
I go through the metal detector, and the the sheriffs look at me, and they're all like, what is wrong with you? Like, I literally said it out loud. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the hostility? And I did all the things. Like, they made me stand like this and wanded me. And the level of building that I'm going in does not require this amount of attention. I will say that. There's no judges, there's no Supreme Court people here.
I think
There's
it would take
nothing
a lot
like
of stuff
that,
to get
right?
that kind of security.
Okay. So we're at an entry level government building. We'll say that. And these guys are acting like I'm smuggling in a Learjet or something. I'm like, what is going on? So they like made me stand there, and they like wanded me down, and I'm like, I just walked through a fucking metal detector. Like, what else do you want from me? Like, do you want to stick your hands in my pockets? Like, I winked at the one guy. I didn't know what else to do. Like, it got awkward. Like, what's up, baby? So I got all my things, and I went on about my business. And as I'm walking away, I'm like, I try to have a better day, you know. I get in the elevator, and I come back down after the 15 minutes of business that I had to take there. And I get out of the elevator, and no shit, they all stand up out of their chairs and put their phones away, recross their arms, and watch me leave the building. Don't say a word. Now, mind you, I have done nothing but be polite, smile, and try to like crack a joke this whole time. And I'm like, what is so serious about your day? So I said it again. I was walking out the front door. I was like, you know what, guys? I just hope you have a good day. Just walked out. Like, you fuckheads. I'll see you in 3 weeks. Like, stop. I'm sorry.
They're gonna remember you, and even if they're not on guard, then they're gonna stand up just for you.
You know what, man? I know more of my legal rights than the average citizen, and I'm willing to negotiate with any officer at any moment. I have no qualms with that whatsoever. And I just thought it was real funny that they were just instantly fucking offended. I even went out of my way. Nothing I had on me was technically illegal. So I went out of my way to make your job easier by going to my car and removing the things that were going to complicate this fucking process, right? So now why are you all pissy about it? You didn't have to check my ID. You didn't have to fucking make me fill out a piece of paper and hold my weapon while I went up to the room. Like, it was just a whole big thing. Instead, I could just walk into my car and drop my shit off and go back to what I was doing. And I don't even think they saw me stick my head in the door. I don't even think that was the issue. But it was just really like,
I mean, I'm sure they would have like said something, if anything, like,
why'd you go back to your car? The 6 pounds of heroin in my back pocket, bro.
I just my katana was just a little too large to get to the store. I had to go.
It was the artillery round, like.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those, just like, you could walk in the room and just be like, hey, pissed in your guys' Wheaties, like. So I just tried to shine a little happiness into their day. Now, I was probably being a snarky prick about it, but come on, man. It ain't that serious.
I think it was necessary.
I don't.
I meant you're snarky.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I thought you meant their asshole.
No.
Because the 5-on-1, uniforms to me was just a little bit aggressive to be surrounded
As aggressive, period.
to be surrounded by people with weapons that feel they're in a place of authority because they're inside of a government building. Then it was just one of those very like, you'll do what I say because I said it kind of moments. And that's like, I'm the most compliant until you try. I will go along with any plan, any rule, anything you set up. I don't give a shit. But as soon as you start being a dick about it, like, fuck you, I'll do whatever I want. Catch me. I'm an American. Like, whatever. You know, my favorite part about being an American is, Kyle?
What is it?
It's written into our Constitution that we're allowed to break the law. Did you know that?
I did not actually.
Because, I mean, A, you have the right to pursue happiness, right?
Right.
Right. So if what makes me happy is against the law, how are you to tell me that I'm not allowed to do that? So you can't. Right. Not only that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are innocent until proven guilty.
It's fair.
Okay. Those are your Miranda rights. You know what the Miranda right is? It's what they read you before you start getting arrested.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, actually, I don't know if that is a Miranda right or not. Regardless, you're innocent until proven guilty in the United States. So that means I can do whatever the fuck I want because I'm innocent until I'm caught and then tried and then proven guilty. Right. So essentially, I can do whatever I want until you catch me.
Technically, yeah.
Technically, I'm innocent until proven guilty. So I've done nothing wrong, even blatantly doing something wrong. I've done nothing wrong until you put me in front of a jury of my peers. So being accused by a crime by an officer is actually against the Constitution.
I don't know if that's going to hold up, Ben, but I follow where you're running with this.
Hey, do you study bird law? Do you study bird law? I don't think you do.
You know, he's got a point, Fawn.
I'm listening to the point. However, I just don't think it's going to hold up to any of our.
Is that out of pocket?
Listen as you will, but don't take this as sound legal advice.
Man, the only advice I've ever given on the show is never fucking listen to anything that comes out of my mouth. I think that's the one thing we've established throughout these 3 episodes we're on now.
Touché.
Don't ever listen to anything I say and take it serious. That should be a disclaimer as our credits roll at the end of the. By the way, Ben Thomas is full of shit, and everything he says is not based in any fact other than his mind. I think that's fair. Just like, yeah.
I just had to throw it out there. I didn't want anybody to take that to the bank and like be like, nah, this dude on a tattoo show said I could break it all I wanted.
He said he knew his rights pretty well. I believed him.
He did say he was an American.
I did. I was born here. It was not a choice. We were born here. But I figured
used to joke that it's not illegal until you get caught or unless you get caught. So
absolutely true.
But like I said, not the most sound advice. It's like what happens when you do get caught? Like, yeah, like you get away with it for something illegal. What happens when?
I am going with you have to be judged by a jury of your peers. That's what happens then. And if
I'm so claustrophobic, I don't want to be in a small box until I'm waiting to be judged by said jury of my peers.
That's fair. I can't turn. It won't turn off now.
Again. There you go. What are you doing?
So somehow I thought I was muting the line, and I hit the wrong button on my way up to hit the line mute because I was trying to be slick about it. Kyle broke it.
Yeah. We're good now. Don't touch anything.
No, don't touch. But yeah, I truly, truly believe with every ounce of freedom in my body that catch me, and we'll talk. Then we'll talk. We'll see whose lawyer's better. Okay.
It's so funny that you're saying that because it sounds like something that like a scumbag would say, but like in reality, you're a pretty quality person that doesn't break very many laws.
I appreciate you covering for me on air.
I'm just saying, like you can make your, like a low life when you're like, catch me if you can, honky.
I mean, I firmly believe in that though. Like, you do you, man. If you're not hurting anybody and everybody's alive when you're done, like, run your game, boo boo. That was a pause for a drink, Kyle. That's where you could have spoke and filled that fucking airtime.
I'm sorry, I wasn't on that wavelength.
I've noticed
Yeah.
a few times, actually.
I was distracted by our guest who just came in.
Hey,
We got Robbie Ripoll with us today. How are you doing? While he gets stuff ready to go.
you thought he was ready.
It's okay. Take your time, Robbie. We love you.
I don't know where to go from there. That's
Right.
kind of the end of my little rant there. Then
You
you,
ran.
then you were like, "Hey, you don't have to talk anymore." So I kind of shut it all down.
Well, why don't we pull up a tattoo to look at? How about that?
I like tattoos.
Yeah. We do talk about tattoos here. Have you seen this before?
Do we? No, I don't think anybody else can see that either.
Well, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Wait, gentlemen.
What's that?
It's a nice segue, gentlemen.
Did you like that? We're trying.
Boom, tattoos.
Boom. Look at that. This is a tattoo. I like that.
Yeah, that's the winner of the day. Who can you give us a little more information about this particular tattoo?
Zoom it out. Done by Maddie Darkside on Instagram.
Nice, Maddie. Good work. Maddie just opened a new studio, didn't she? No?
I would not know.
Wow. Good job, Kyle.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared.
It's all right. It's
Okay.
just like life.
Yeah.
Every now and then. No, I often get people that are in our immediate circle confused, so I'm probably incorrect.
There's a lot of people these days. It's
There
hard to remember
is.
every single
Do
name.
you know, for a guy that really doesn't pay attention, there's too many tattooers out there. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of you guys.
There are.
You're all amazing, and I love you. And there's not too many. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy to think about in comparison to 10, 15 years ago, the saturation of the market and
Yeah.
how unique and talented you actually have to be now to actually, thrive. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I enjoy watching the elevation of the game.
Yeah.
What else is in there, Kyle?
There is some more tattoos that I'm pulling. Oh, let's save that one.
He said, "Oh,
There's a good video about how tattoos are made.
oh,
Yeah.
okay." That sounds.
Can't wait
that
for
sounds-
this. This is fantastic. You're gonna love it, Ben. Adam France shared this with us a few days ago.
Okay. I think my back just broke. I just sat back. Whoa!
Okay.
I don't know if that blasted y'all into hyperspace,
It did
but
not.
my brain just broke through the sound in my headphones.
All right. Let's check this out. Lovely how it's made on tattoos.
Tattooing dates at least as far back as the Bronze Age. A
least.
5,000-year-old body found in a European glacier had several tattoos on his skin. Archaeologists have even uncovered what they believe are Stone Age tattooing instruments.
This is
showing
hilarious.
Bone needles and
Yeah.
clay discs containing
Lots of
mineral
good yin
pigments.
yangs.
I love that they've shown the same piece of yin yang flash 13 times.
Better.
Walk into a tattoo parlor and the vast selection of elaborate
Those swords.
designs will
Vast.
astound you.
Tattoofinder.com.
Once you make your
Why?
choice, the tattoo artist traces the image.
Poorly. With a ballpoint pen. Don't worry, I'll fix it in post.
Next, he places the traced image on carbon paper.
Look at those
and
dirty ass
retraces the
fucking
lines.
fingernails.
This creates a carbon outline of the tattoo on the reverse side. The artist will use this blueprint, as it's called, as his guide.
Blueprint.
It's a blueprint. Oh, wow.
He cleans the customer's skin,
And not his
then
fingers.
firmly presses on the
Hey, you put gloves
blueprint.
on this time, okay?
I'm impressed
The
for as old as
color
this
image
is.
transfers easily because the skin is damp.
This is from 2008 as well.
That's the worst stencil I've
Now it's
ever
time to
seen.
construct the needles.
Yeah.
What?
Tattoos require 2 needles, one to make the outline of the image, the other to shade and color it in. Each needle is made up of as many as 20 smaller needles. The artist aligns these small needles in a jig, then solders them together onto one end of a steel rod. There's an eye on the other end. The number of small needles in a needle depends on the tattoo design. How thick its lines are, how big its colored areas are.
Vaughn, can we start making needles?
The finished needles go into an autoclave to be sterilized.
Pretty good at making these.
20 minutes at precisely 170 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
Like it's just
The
like
tattoo
baking
artist
cookies, you know?
uses that time to assemble the tattoo gun. After cleaning
Gun.
the frame with
Good
rubbing
gun.
alcohol, he installs
Hey,
the
Robbie.
around the
Hey now.
core.
Hey there.
Sorry, we're
Sure.
watching a educational
Yeah, you
video
joined just
on
in time
how
to
to
learn
make
how
a
to-
tattoo.
It oscillates the
I love
needle
this, and it's on Discovery Channel.
per second.
Yes.
It's straight up how it's made.
Oh,
We
is
just
it?
watched him.
Yeah.
We just watched
The
him
two
jig needles and
are
autoclave
sterilized.
them.
He
Like
takes
this
the
is
one for outlining called
amazing.
the liner and
Brings me
slides
back
it
to being a
into
kid.
the tattoo gun. He hooks
Yeah,
the eye on the other
someday.
end onto the spring.
What's
As
that?
the spring moves back and forth, it moves
Bare
the needle
hands
up
all
and
day.
down. The tattoo
Real.
artist stops and starts it with a foot pedal like a sewing machine.
just like a sewing machine. Look at the flex
Why
of
does
that.
it go up?
Those
and
rubber
down?
bands are so tight.
Oh god.
Wow.
The gun sucks up the ink.
The gun. I
The
love
gun.
the
The gun.
The gun.
Some petroleum jelly on the skin helps.
Some
the needle
petroleum jelly? That's a whole bottle. Shit.
Yeah.
tracing the lines of the blueprint. The needle
You should have seen the
passes
stencil, Bob.
rate
It was the
of
worst
1,000
stencil I've ever
times
seen.
per
Please,
minute.
the blueprint.
Oh, blueprint. They called it a blueprint. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
The blueprint.
The
Look at those
skin
crispy
can-
lines.
Yeah.
It must be
Dude,
from the sewing
He
machine
wipes
needles he
away the
made.
excess ink to keep his
God
work.
bless.
Oh yeah.
And
After
that's
finishing
how
the
you get
outline, he
hepatitis,
reapplies
ladies and
petroleum
gentlemen.
jelly. This seals
Man,
it.
oh my God, I love that. Honestly, that grip is fucking fire. I love the pencil grips.
Back and forth movement.
That skin is open.
Dude, that skin is overworked.
Yeah, it is
One color at a
open.
time,
Ouch.
overlapping them to ensure
Oh God, this hurts my body.
penetrate from 1 to 4
Look, you can just see the
millimeters.
chunks
good
coming
tattoo
out of
artist knows
Like
just
they're
how deep
already-
to go to create the
There's
different
already
parts of
just
the image.
missing
For
flesh.
example, he has
And
to
this is who
inject
they
the
picked to
outline
be
the
on
deepest,
TV.
but going
I
further.
How many
No.
people did they go through before they found this the good one, you know? Like
How old is this shit?
It's from 2008.
it's not even
Okay.
that old.
I mean, it's,
2008 though. This could have been 92. You wouldn't have known.
dude, I wouldn't have known.
That's for
You
sure.
wouldn't have known. I think this might be old footage. There's no way that this was like recorded in 98. Or
But I love-
maybe 98. There's no way.
I love their background choices, like some fucking random pink, some random yellow, and some white to tie it all together.
Just
Yeah.
push back it in.
The scab will fall off, and this body
The scab will fall off. So
Yep.
we're like,
Set
and
it.
we just put that fucking saran wrap on with no gloves. That's fine.
It's cool. It's not a wound anymore. He's done tattooing.
Yeah.
Duh.
It's all close.
Did you see the color of the fingernails that were involved in
I
that
could, you know,
tour?
there was so much going on I couldn't even see.
Yeah, in the beginning they're
Watch it a couple more times.
they're-
to really see.
they're making the stencil and they zoom in and his fingernail looks like he's been doing motor work all day. And I was just like,
Yeah, I'm
right.
trying to get this light of my fucking fan out of my face. It's got
Got
this
you.
weird
Worry.
Yeah. little sword coming at your head there.
sorry I'm late, y'all.
Oh, good,
No
Bobby.
worries.
Life
Thanks
is
for
not
coming.
that stressful. We're just happy you're here.
I am happy to be here. I thought I was gonna have a wife and child with me, and they're napping. So
Oh,
here I am.
that's the
fucking
best
hot
reason
take.
to miss anything. Can I just be honest? Like, if somebody came to me like, sorry, I'm late. I was just crashed for a bit. I'm going to just give you a hug. Because, like, yes, fam.
Man,
Nah.
so like I'm in Florida, so like we did hurricane prep yesterday. and I'm right outside of where the storm hit. So like the storm didn't really get us. We're cool. You know, so like last night was like forced family time because we're all stuck in the house together. So we were all just chilling and having a good time and stuff. And so like today I took a little nap with the baby and then woke up to get on a coaching call and fucking coach somebody for an hour and a half. And here I am now. So life is pretty nice right now.
Yeah, there's way worse days, man. There's way worse days.
Yeah, especially, you know, my heart goes out to the motherfuckers in Florida that they got their shit fucked because
lots of them.
Yeah, I was looking at some footage of that earlier today. It's fucking insane. What was it like? Recorded max height of 42 feet waves.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real honest, guys. I intentionally don't pay attention to the news.
Right.
Or any type of live media because I can't handle it emotionally. It is just, it's too much for me. I cut it out about 10 years ago. So I really, really, really am out of the loop on 90% of anything that happens on a television. So,
well, dude, funny thing is, like, I'm the same way. I don't watch the news, never have. It just never has been. It's never been something I'm into. But my chick is from fucking Philly. And so, you know, she's a new Floridian. So she made it through last year's hurricane season and she was a lot more stressed out. This year, she's gotten a lot better and she just keeps me abreast of what's going on. But like, I'm the guy that I'll go to the Walmart and I'll be like, what's everybody doing? Why?
Why?
Why is it COVID again? We don't have water? Like, what's happening? Like, I thought it was toilet paper. Why don't we have any water? You know, so like I have no idea what's going on.
I missed the panic memo. Oh no.
You know, and like I've always got enough supplies in my house, you know, for like life. So, you know,
right.
I'm good to go. I don't really need to stock up. You know, if the fucking water goes bad and the electric goes out, oh well, restaurants are already opening and the storm is still going. So like, I'll live, dude. You know?
There's a Waffle House somewhere.
Yeah, there's definitely a Waffle House open.
Bro, so and Wawa's the place right now. The place is hopping. They fucking sold out of food too. So anyway, yeah.
Wow. So there's an actual like Waffle House disaster scale.
Yes.
That they literally rate how bad it is somewhere is if the Waffle Houses are closed or not. Yep. Well, I mean, since COVID, they kind of fucked that up. Because we're in Columbus, right? So here locally, the labor has been ridiculous. So nobody wants to work, nobody's at work, nobody comes to work, right? So ever since COVID, the Waffle Houses have been shut down. They'll be doing like just carry out and stuff like that, and I'll be like, I don't see hellfire right now, guys. The fuck is my waffle? Like, what you are, the airport Waffle House? Get it the fuck together. Like, I am literally offended that they're closed. I'm like, I see two of you. There's one of me. Let's do this. Like, come on. I got $13 and I'm fucking hungry. So I don't know where that scale lies anymore. Right. It's like so it's either yes. It's like did the hurricane get you or does your staff have the vid? I don't know anymore.
Or like, they just fucking collected unemployment because of the vid. You know, and that it's like, yeah, I appreciate the assistance, y'all. You know, thanks for helping the people that, you know, can't just put curtains on their tattoo shop and work. Because let's just fucking be honest, dude. How many people did that? You know,
none. Everyone we know is reputable.
Absolutely. And you know, you can still be reputable and do some fucking illegal things.
Well, I don't know if you just heard about 5 minutes ago what I was talking about. I know you just joined on, but I literally right before you got on, my big spiel was my favorite part about being an American is you're innocent until proven guilty. You can do whatever the fuck you want until you're caught. And then even after you're caught, you can't, you're innocent until proven guilty. That's what the thing says. I didn't write it. So then you also have the right to pursue happiness regardless of the law, right? So your right to pursue happiness trumps everything else. So if what makes me happy is being a hood rat and I can do whatever the fuck I want until you catch me, fuck off. Right? It's your fault you got caught. Now you got to pay the consequences. So the key here is don't get caught, right? Like just stay under the fucking radar, right?
Yeah.
So literally 5 minutes ago.
Now that being said, that's on paper.
Let it run, man. I will fight this in court. Bring it up. Let's see if your lawyer is better than mine. I'm in for this battle.
Yo, for real.
So, I
man.
mean, I'm for it. If you're not hurting anyone or yourself or, like, get it done, boo-boo.
Yeah, dude,
Live your life.
and like I feel the exact same, like here we are, dude, people are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do anyway. Like you take guns from the people are going to find guns. You take drugs from the people are going to find drugs. Prohibition was a thing, and then toilet wine became a fucking delicacy. And
Well, except you could buy liquor from the government through your doctor at $90 a quart during the Great Depression. So do you hear me out? So you were still able to purchase liquor during the Great Depression, or I'm sorry, during Prohibition. You just had to do it with a doctor's note. So you had to go to a medical establishment and pay for a visit on somebody that's paying taxes and government liens and blah, 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 to put into the system to be able to purchase liquor at a 1,000 times inflated rate. Yep. So at $95 a pint during Prohibition on our days would be like $1,000.
Holy
for a pint. So it was there, but it was just cocaine prices.
Right.
Like you had to be willing, like how much sauce you need,
Right.
So,
well, I mean, look at Magic Johnson. He had AIDS and everybody was dying from it, and then he didn't. And it's like, oh, wait a second. Oh, you just needed it's money.
So,
I mean, yeah.
And bags of saline cost $332.
Bro.
In the United States. Excuse me.
Price gouging is illegal.
No, it's not. No, not if you own all the companies. It's not even price gouging. Exactly. What are you talking about? You're dictating the market. Exactly. It's not even gouging.
So when we do it, it's illegal. When they do it, it's protocol.
Right.
Can you really gouge prices if there aren't any other prices?
It's market standard, bud.
Dude, yeah, dude. Donna, my chick, she went to the fucking store to get stuff for the hurricane. She's like, I spent $400. And I had to like go through the list of what I bought because I swear they must have raised the prices like for this situation because I didn't buy $400 worth of things.
I feel like that every time I leave the grocery store now, regardless. Okay. Right. I have my daughter half the time. So like it's just me. I'm not buying groceries for a family of 4.
Right.
My regular stock pantry list is pretty small. I live on ham Sammys and a couple frozen things. And I'll drop $200 at the grocery store.
Right.
And be like, how in the fuck do people that are feeding a family, like a real family? Could you imagine having 4 kids right now?
Dude.
Heaven forbid 2 of them strapping young people that are eating by the droves.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it. I got a decent job, and I'd be broke as shit trying to feed people right now.
Yeah, the standards
all generic.
The standards of money in our country are weird. The older I get, the more I turn into a grumpy old man that's probably going to wear a tinfoil hat.
Tell me about
it. Because I don't.
Curmudgeoned is the word that gets used a lot for me.
Right, dude. Yes. I'll be that guy, dude. But like, I don't follow politics at all.
Me
but
either.
I feel things. And so when we get into a political conversation, I say, yeah, it's weird because I feel that this is like off and this doesn't make sense. And then like people that know politics, they're like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, oh, wow. I don't need to waste hours of my life watching this shit to know that the powers that be are kind of gross.
It's usually not hard to pick up on.
I want a fucking shirt that says that, though. Can that be your new shirt? Like, I'll support it. I'll go in halves, man. You just tell me what's up. The powers that be are fucking gross. I'm in. Yeah. I'll halvesies. Tell me what the run is.
Dude, like, I watched the fucking Epstein thing on Netflix, right? And that was gross as fuck. People that are still in power were like going to this fucking island. Like, the Ghislaine Maxwell fucking thing wasn't being fucking talked about, like dude, they're stealing children's fucking innocence.
No, it's not even innocence anymore. You have now destroyed that life. There is no form of normal that person will ever with any amount of any type of coaching, therapy, life-changing alteration, ayahuasca. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. There's no coming back to center from that. You are slighted for the rest of your fucking life.
You're a different person. Yeah, it's like watching somebody get the brains blown out in front of you. Like you don't get back to normal after that.
No, you are permanently changed. We're in Columbus, so we're right down the road from New Albany, the town that Epstein built.
Oh shit.
So he built New Albany with the owner of Les Wexner. I always say his name wrong because he sounds like a Superman villain. But this dude he lived on the property. The separate mansion house that they keep talking about was on this guy's property. This is 15 minutes from where I sleep. Okay. So this whole town, and I'm talking the fucking governmental infrastructure, was all purchased by this guy. Okay. He started at the bottom. He bought the land. He built the roads. He built the fucking town hall. Then he hired people to run it. Then he hired the police force. Then he built his sprawling 38-acre fucking plot for his house and like fenced off the entire community. Then you had to be in a certain demographic to be able to apply, to be able to purchase in the area. The way the initial neighborhoods were mapped out, they're all under lock and key. They're all guarded gate entrance, key code having, like,
all you need is money and you can do whatever you want.
And now New Albany's like number 3 in the entire area. There's more money there than we know what to do with, and he owns it all. And they've been fucking kids since 99.
Bro, since before that, know about it since 99.
I mean, that's when they started building New Albany. So like this whole thing,
yeah, I was born in 99.
He's 12. Like it's a common thing we jab him about.
He's 3 years younger than my son, my first son. So I mean older, not younger. Older.
We still love you. We still love you.
No, I love feeding into our youth.
Yes.
Let me tell you how life is gonna suck. There's like 900.
I'm very aware of that. Don't worry. I got beaten into me real early.
Oh yeah. So it's really weird to watch that level of corruption. I don't even know what else to call it. Epitome of society. Be at that echelon, to see people with that kind of power. It's I don't know what else to call it. If he wants a jet, he's got a jet. He wants a yacht, he's got a yacht. He wants to take his credit card and go buy 3 cars, he's going to do that today. And
if he wants some young kids, he's got that.
He's buying it. So like it's one of those, like, how do we all just talked about how awesome it is to be able to do whatever the fuck we want until we get caught. How do you get ahead of somebody like that?
Oof. Yeah, that's a rough one, man. That's a rough one.
We're all sitting here like, it's been going on under our nose for all these years. And yeah, he makes more money than the town.
Right.
So do you think the local cops are coming around the fucking estate? Yeah, because they're paid to be there.
Right. And so
do you know what they do when they're there? They report things that are affecting the property, not the property.
Right. And that's why I have found myself falling into the motivational and coaching space, because that's what I can do to fucking fix it. Right. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to go and fight these guys on Capitol Hill, but at the end of the day, what I can do is inject a lot of love, positivity, and guidance and healing throughout as many people as I can connect with to make the world a better place. And hopefully we bring up the overall love consciousness of the world and the overall good consciousness. And when you see somebody doing great things from a great place with love and heart, then you're like, oh, wow, I like that. Maybe I'll do that. Or, wow, there is a different way. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't realize there's a different way to do life than this corrupt, gross way, So
take a minute. You just jumped into why you coach. So let's take one giant step back. Tell us about what you do, brother.
Okay, so
we've only met in passing once, by the way. I'm
Right.
Ben. So like talk to me like we've never met, man. So
Right.
I know more than average consumer, but hit me with it, man. Tell me about your day.
So yeah, man. I mean, I've been in the business almost 30 years. You know, my dad. So watching the fucking video of making needles was so nostalgic for me because at like 11 and 12 years old, I'm making needles for my dad. And like I'm taking dirty needles with no gloves on. And I'm
Got
not
your nasty
touching-
ass fingernails out.
right. The needles were a little bit more nasty than my fingernails, I think, at that point. But I was young, so who knows what I was doing. So like I would fucking crack the needles off the bars and fucking I wouldn't touch the needles themselves. So like that was my safe place, right? So I'd crack the needles off the bars, throw them in the fucking sharps container, build new needles, fucking put them in pouches and give them to my dad, and he'd give me $1 a set. A set was a 3-liner and a fucking 7 mag or flat, depending on what he was using at the time. So
Love it.
Actually, a set was 8 of liners and shaders, and it was $8 for a set. So I fell in love with the tattoo industry early on. And that's why I say I've been in it for like 30 years. I've been tattooing for 26. I started in high school. I went to the OJT, the on-the-job training program where like I would leave and go to work, and I would leave the shop, leave school, go to the shop. And you know, here I am, 41 years old. I've been tattooing this whole time. And somewhere along the line, I realized I have this thing in me, right? Where there's like a lot of love and a lot of good, positive guidance, and a lot of nurture. And a lot of the things that I didn't receive as a young person, that I feel are very necessary for the world to receive. So somewhere along the line, I was like, man, I need to do this coaching thing. I need to do this motivational speaking thing. So I was on the show Ink Master in 2014, came home from that, thought my life was over, because I got sent home on the 6th episode. So like, oh, wow, I chewed somebody up on TV. So now they're going to fucking all know that I'm a fraud and I chew everybody up and I'm a piece of shit tattooer. And now my career's over. So
Oh, okay. I could see that being a little rough.
yeah. And honestly, there was like 3 fucking fallout spots, like 3 holidays in the whole tattoo, but that was like the end of the world for me, right? So I went down this really deep downward spiral of depression, suicidal thoughts. And I was in suicidal thoughts, but I couldn't talk about them because I was embarrassed. Yeah. And same thing, I was afraid my life would fall apart if I talked about wanting to kill myself for the brief little moment that I wanted to kill myself, because our brains all do it. When life gets too hard, you hear, man, it would be really cool if I didn't have to do this, or if I could get out of this. Yeah. And that equates to dying, you know? So
that's heavy as fuck. You just chuckled through that. No, like woo.
Pause.
Woo.
But wait, there's more.
That. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's deep as fuck. Because most people don't realize it's a natural thought progression.
Yeah, absolutely. We all do it. Every single fucking one of us has.
And then you nailed it. Then you associate shame.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lots of shame. I couldn't even tell my wife at the time, who, you know, like, we weren't in a great relationship. She was mismanaging all of our funds and fucking not doing wonderful with me and my son in our brains, because she wasn't his mother. So she was doing a lot of the things that, you know, ex-wives do, right?
Yeah, got a couple of them, buddy.
Right. Yeah, I got 2 of them. So, you know,
me too.
And that's why I'm afraid to marry my new son's mom, because I've got all that trauma, right? Yep. And she's amazing, and she loves me for all the flaws and all the greatness and everything. She raises me up and fucking holds me tight and does all the things that a good wife would do. So yeah, I was in that really weird spot. And so like I was afraid of judgment. She was quite a judgmental person, but like quietly judgy. So I was afraid if I told her the truth about me, like she would like support me, but also judge me. And that, you know, came with some of my stuff, some of her stuff. You know, I don't put it all on her because we both made mistakes through the relationship, right? So I was terribly disappointed in myself in my house. I was living in like a 3,700 foot, like, you know, McMansion, you know, like the little baby fucking mansions, you know, like it was huge. When I got home from McMaster, I couldn't even find my room because she moved into that house when I was gone filming. And like,
Wow.
there's so many rooms, I'm just walking around trying to open up doors, trying to find the room, right? So like terrified, didn't know what I was doing. And I remember one day I was sitting in my phenomenal art room, which had this beautiful fucking balcony on the outside of it on the second story. And I had a fucking theater room in the house that we used to watch me on Ink Master and shit. Like, dude, so like, dude, there was a lot of like great happening in my life that was too much for me.
Yep.
You know, because
Yep.
the interview was too dark and deep and dirty, and Robbie sucks. Robbie's no good, you know? So I remember two specific instances in this house. One, I was sitting there and I was doing art in the art room and I was listening to Macklemore radio, and this fucking song comes on and he goes, make the money, don't let the money make you, change the game, don't let the game change you.
Yeah.
And in that song, he talks about seeing himself on a 55-inch plasma. I had just bought a 70-inch fucking LCD or something because it, like, you know, the technology had changed. And I was watching myself on that TV weekly. And I fucking lost it. And then a string of 3 or 4 more songs came on and I was just sitting there crying and shaking and shit. And I was going through it. And then like a lot of that kept happening. And so one day I just hated myself so much. And I Googled how to be happy because I was so fucking disappointed in life. So I Googled how to be happy and I find Brendan Burchard on the internet. And Brendan Burchard couldn't be further from us. Super whitewashed, like even his presentation, always like white clothes, white walls, fucking like beautifully fucking pristine, clean. And he's like, you know, as far as like in the business world and in the motivation world, you know, give back, right? Even in all worlds, like give back to your community. And he would say like, you know, give back by giving to your local church and things like this. And I'm like, dude, if I fucking stand up in front of a group of tattooers and be like, y'all go to your local church and give back, and that's going to fucking add to your life.
You laughed out.
Right. Exactly, dude. So like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I love what he's saying. I need it so bad. Like, I'm so hungry for a sandwich. I'll just eat your fucking scraps.
Yeah.
So and he had really good scraps, man. Holy shit, they were real meals to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a buffet. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to take it all in and then I'm going to fucking wash it to my standards. So no, it doesn't relate to me to go to my local church and donate, right? But like, what does relate to me? Oh, tattooers love donating their time and, you know, having fucking flash days and giving the money, right? So like, okay, so I started developing ways that I would donate and I would give back to my community. And like, it was kind of self-serving. I was like, I want this to return to me. But then it was like, there's also this like great sense of greatness you feel giving, right? So I'm like, okay, now how do I take all these words and turn them into shit that y'all will listen to, that I'll listen to when I'm not in such a low place that I just need something. So in this dark place of wanting to kill myself, not only did I push through it, but I decided I need to be a motivational speaker.
I love it, dude. I fucking love it.
And so like, then that started the journey of guilt, shame, fear, and rejection and insecurity of about 10 years that were, you know, 2024 will be 10 years or so since I started the RAD movement. So like, I've been doing free content for so long, trying to perfect how to give the people what they need. And the funny thing is, I've been told the whole time, your rawness, your realness, your straightforwardness, that's what we love. You know, people are like, Robbie, I love watching you cry and talk through your shit. I love how raw and vulnerable you get because not everyone will allow themselves to do that. Like I'm 6'1", 285 pounds. You know, I'm a big fucker, you know, so when I sit and I'm bawling my dick off in front of you, there's something that fucking happens to you.
Yeah, you allow yourself to see someone else be real. Raw emotion isn't exposed anymore. We aren't close enough with people in our lives when they're going through these things to sit and deal with that style of absorbing somebody else's energy like that. It doesn't happen anymore. We're so disconnected and phone-faced and all this shit that to watch somebody move through that, because again, we've associated all the shame and embarrassment and especially being a big dude. I get it, bro. I'm right there with you. You have this like, I'm got it. That's our mantra. You can't.
Yeah.
I got this. I don't give a fuck. I got this. And fuck, I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
to see somebody let yourself be human and realize that that's what we are and who we are
Dude.
is huge.
I didn't realize.
You're making me think. I wasn't ready for this, man. I wasn't ready for this. Man, you've got me twice now.
Robbie's really good at that. I remember the first time that we met, it was what, like I think the first episode of your show here on Reinventing, and that's like when we first met and talked, and like something about your energy, you just fucking pulled everything right out of me. And I told you my life story about like wanting to kill myself for a while, and like here I am in a new place.
That's
just
nuts.
pull it right out of me, man. Like it's just natural.
I'm super behind the ball, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's okay.
I intentionally isolate for the exact same reasons. I already said I don't watch the news and but I do the same thing with all outlets. I'm there, but I'm not. I've been getting tattooed since I was 18. I'm 38. I couldn't tell you more than the fucking 15 local dudes around here. You know what I mean? Like it's just not. I've never chased that. Yeah, it's they're my people because we're here. I've never noticed the network of availability until working at Hell City for the past like 5 or so years. And now seeing what kind of a real community that actually is. It wasn't just my little honeypot, right? So now I'm getting exposed to like this world of new people, and to talk to somebody like yourself, even in the past 5 minutes, I'm like, fuck's this guy been? Already, like you've already got me with that. Like I didn't realize there was anybody else on my thought pattern, on my wavelength, in my world, in my realm. And when I'm the black sheep, you know what I mean? Like I don't talk to my family. I've got about 5 people I consider close to myself. So being in that isolated bubble of not having your peer group at your job and not having things like that, you really start to pigeon yourself into this. I'm weird. I'm not expressing myself as who I am because I'm not comfortable around the people that I'm around. And it really has been years. Fuck, why am I doing this? Jesus, man.
It's
I told you he's great at pulling it out.
Bruh.
It's my
It just flows.
It's
so
weird.
It is, because you don't, what we were saying this just the other week, you don't take the time to have these conversations ever. So when you do, they're very, very, very impactful. So like even just having conversations with people, we don't allow that in our day to day because it's a text, it's a quick message, it's a video, it's a half a second. So when we sit for this 3 hours, that is our time to be, and it's allowed me a area of expression I didn't know was available. And same with being in, we're necessary, absolutely. And being able to find this network of, fuck, man, I've been with you for 38 seconds. Like I feel like we're hanging out next weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like, and to have those immediate connections with people has been amazing, and more of a fuck, you've been isolating yourself mode. I was just talking to Jordan literally at the beginning of the show,
circle, baby.
like, bro, this is all the beginning of the show. Jordan sat down for a couple minutes in passing. He was the on the show as the original host. He started this blah 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 blah, and I've known Jordan since he moved to Columbus. Like I love the guy. And sitting here, I was like, man, like I'm sorry. I've neglected our personal relationship, and not just ours, like a lot of people's. And like I need my people.
The universe is speaking loudly to you, Playboy.
Bobby, it's been a year. Let me tell you.
You like that, dude.
Everybody's been like that, and it's like I'm not special in that, and not having learned where you can and can't vent, not having learned where you can and can't receive that love, not having found the people that reciprocate your being. I don't know how else to say that.
No, I feel
Je ne sais quoi.
Dude, I just fucking spent $10,000 to fucking be in a coaching program that's called Masters of Fate Brotherhood, so I could have men that I could be around. men that lift me up, men that I could be real with, men that could teach me, men that could mentor me, men that I could mentor, men that I could cry with, men that could make me feel safe, because I don't fucking have really safe brothers. You know, my two older brothers, you know, one of them's in the tattoo industry and he basically hates me more time than not. And my oldest brother, when he comes to me with like love, I don't even know when to trust it, because like hate usually comes somewhere along, or like dismay comes somewhere along, or disappointment. So like those relationships are broken. My dad was this big, mean, scary Cuban. He's a loving man, but he wasn't loving. He had love in his heart, but he didn't lead with love. So like I never really had men I could fucking feel safe with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and most of us don't
fucking do.
Dude, most of us didn't have men we could feel safe with. My father's dead now. And like, I begged him to tell my mother that he loved her, because that's all she wanted to hear before he died. And in front of me, he wouldn't do it. And I don't know if he did, because he just was so uncomfortable speaking love, because he was such a pained man. So now I'm in this fucking brotherhood with these dudes where I feel like I have safe brothers and safe fathers. You know, my dad would throw you to the wolves. My dad, when I was young, he took me to the fucking car dealership to help me buy a car just so I could get rejected because I didn't have credit, to teach me a lesson on how to build credit. He didn't help me get the car.
See,
my dad, he used to smack me in the fucking head when I was tattooing because I was doing it wrong, but he didn't really know how to teach me how to do it right. He just gave me,
because that's how he was taught.
Right. Well, he
we didn't know that.
Everything he was taught, he didn't know, because dude, he was a Cuban refugee. So he fucking came here from Cuba, and his story was, you know, these two big fucking Marines or whatever came and picked me up out of line, took me away from my fucking grandmother and grandfather, and put me on the last legal flight to Florida, or to America. And, you know, I moved in with my mother, who's dating this fucking white dude named Dutch, or married to him. And she's like, that's your father. He's like, that's not my fucking father. So there you go. My father didn't know his father. Fucking probably about 15, 20 years ago, he met a dude from Cuba who lived in Florida who said, I knew your father. He smuggled people, and he told like, and guns and weapons and goods. And like, he was on one of his last trips to come and move to America, and he disappeared.
Fuck.
So my father never knew his fucking father. He never fucking trusted a father. So then what happened? He raised 3 boys. And he raised these 3 boys, the 2 older ones, because I'm the baby. They couldn't be safe with their father, because he couldn't be safe with his father, because he didn't know how to teach that relationship. And so he was never close with his siblings, because they weren't his blood siblings all the way. So, you know, I've got all these fucking strained family dynamics, because of the family dynamics that were strained before. And that's why I feel like I choose to lead with love. Because when you get down to the fucking, the little Robbie inside, when you get down to the scared little boy that needs love, he just needed love and guidance and safe fathers and safe brothers and lessons where he didn't get beat up, because the fucking universe kicks you in the dick till you bleed out of your fucking mouth until you get the fucking lesson. So I don't need my brothers and fathers beating me up. You know what I'm saying? So,
fuck, bro.
Yeah. So it just got really deep.
No, but that's the truth. I mean, growing up super religious, the bypath was always so it was I don't have to love you. Your love is from God. Now, this is my perception. This is my perception.
I had to go through that. I love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't get me going.
It's all right. It's all right. It's hard to receive love, man, especially when you're not used to it.
It is.
I'm gonna do that to you, but that's
no. I love you. I appreciate like 30 minutes in. Like, I love you. Like, I mean that. It's hard to find raw. It's hard to find real. And we've been in this for half an hour, and you've made me leak twice.
Thanks.
No, it's so when you grow up in that same strained, there's always an answer, but the answer isn't found in your parent. The answer is found in prayer, or reading, or in absorbing some ancient text, right? So
getting told you're doing it wrong.
You know what? I don't know that you're doing it wrong. I know that this book says this thing.
Right.
You know, do what this says. That's
Right.
or you're just gonna die and go to
Yeah.
hell. So I don't have to be a parent. I have to be a rule enforcer. And it built this dynamic of, again, non-trust, because I'm not getting my answers from you. I'm getting my answers externally. And it built this, I find my own answer.
Oof. Yeah.
I don't go to others for help
So
because I was taught to do it myself.
and you asked why I do what I do and where we came from. This is it, man. Because men need love. People need love. People need support. People need to fucking understand that it's okay.
And even like growing up in that super loving, all encompassing, they were non-denominational even, bro.
Same.
They
same.
didn't even pick a side.
Right.
They said, whatever side you're on, we love you.
Yeah.
We're family. We got this. But the default was always, if you follow the fucking rules.
Right.
So you're
There's so
good
many people not following rules around you.
until you don't do exactly this. Then it's bye. Okay.
Fire and brimstone.
Okay. So now you grow up in a family that it's all about this same backbone, and you become an adult and you look at the world that was sculpted around you, and you see the kid fuckers, and you see the misguided approach of how your implication to my life plus my tithe equals me being a good person. How I am supposed to participate in a system that I don't necessarily agree with. And now I'm reading, and I actually paid attention and went through this book you gave me, and I'm like, this shit all makes sense. And so as an adult, you get more connection at a rock show, and you get that same feeling that you got in praise and worship and in prayer and then you walk into a football stadium and you get that same buzz. And I don't sports ball, but to go in and feel that energy, it changed my whole perception of everything. So now I distrust the standard that was set. Okay. So you said, this is how you live your life. These are the fucking rules. And then I went, these rules are one-sided and don't account for the rest of the world.
And you can't trust at that point.
Now, who and what do I trust?
What do I even know?
I don't.
Because no one taught me anything. So I'm answering all the answers myself and hoping that I'm right. They only tell me when I'm wrong, and they only tell me what not to do, but nobody really tells me what to do.
So now I'm in a situation where I haven't had a more than 5-minute conversation with a single member of my family in 10 years. My immediately older brother had an affair with my wife. My brother that is older than him, I got the I'm gonna kill myself phone call. He didn't. He was rushed to a hospital, the whole nine. But after that, I was excommunicated because of how I dealt with that situation. When the situation with my first brother happened with my wife, they all chose sides. And since he was going to involve her in their life, they felt it now necessary to, well, I have to be accommodating to them. So what's the issue? So then now I'm ostracized, right? So my whole adult life has been adapting to whatever situation. I've had 14 careers, no less than that. I'm not unsuccessful. But the amount of jobs that I have had, because it's whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, because there's never been any direction. There's never been any path. There's never been anything. There's never been any, hey, you're pretty good at this. You should look into that. But since I figured it all out myself, I'm very good at adapting. So why do I need to take anything fucking serious? That's why I'm mediocre at every task I do, because I see the end game and I'm like, it's not worth the hustle. So I'm out. And that's been every job, every life decision, every relationship, every seek for love, every that's going to end bad. Why am I trying? Because everything I've ever tried at has been ruined. So now, what's the point? So it's not that I don't care. I'm a fairly successful person for what I do. I'm not poor. I've got a decent job. My kid eats. We don't struggle. I'm not rich, but we don't struggle.
Yeah.
So where's my drive? Why the
Mm.
fuck do I get out of bed, bro? I don't like my job. I don't like the situation my second ex-wife I'm now on. I don't like the life that I live. I don't like the person that I became and recovering from those decisions that I made. I don't, in trying to change and correct all that, where do you find someone like yourself?
Right.
So I've been in therapy for 1.5 years, and my therapist still has yet to be like, so here's an action plan.
Really?
Hard fucking core, bruh. Like, to the point where I was like, hey, I'm reading this book. It's called Steps to Happiness. It's actually a really good fucking book. If I could remember the author of it, because I did audio, because I'm dyslexic, so I don't read
I'll
real well.
find it. It's no problem.
Amazing. I'll pull it up. I'll send it to you. I got it on Audible. I just don't know the thing. My regurgitation's poor. And I'm like, hey, I'm reading this book. It's literally how to progress in mental thought to be happier. And she's like, cool, I'll read the book and then we'll do the steps together. There was literally like action plans in this thing. And I'm like, let's do this, lady. Never touched it. Now, is it my job as a patron to be like, hey, you kind of suck at your job?
Yeah, that's your cue to find a new therapist.
Yeah, absolutely. So in losing my leg, I learned something.
Wait,
living in hospitals.
Back
Wait,
that up. You don't have a leg? I don't mean to be rude, my friend. I apologize. That was super crass, and I did not mean it that way. So back the train up, bud. I told you I'm fairly isolated. Okay. How did we lose a leg?
You ever heard of human body suspension? I'm sure you have.
Yes, sir.
I was doing that at a Villain Arts show in Kansas City in 2019. And that was part of like the thing I love suspension, and it's a super therapeutic action for me. And then I developed the rad movement, and I was like, well, I need to speak. Well, Troy and Carl let me fucking speak before I would go up. So like everybody involved with the whole thing, they're like, cool, yeah, you can do your motivational speech. So I'd fucking get my hooks, walk out there, put the microphone in my hand, tell a little speech, rip my clothes off down to my underwear, run into my fucking suspension and go fucking ape shit up there. And the whole point was like, I told you about motivational stuff, and now I'm going to do something that seems impossible to most of you. And then you're going to go out here and fucking do impossible shit because you just saw me do something that seems impossible. So that was the concept, right? And so doing my fucking show, and the rope breaks and my leg comes off, and it was attached only by the skin that was left. So in the living in the hospital, I learned about advocating for yourself as a patient, which basically means being a motherfucking Karen when shit isn't going right.
See, but in the narrative, if you grew up solving your own problems, you don't have anybody to voice that to. So you never had a chance to learn how to express yourself without being an asshole. So now every time I feel like I'm like, hey, shit's wrong, I'm to the point of that I'm so frustrated I'm not received because I'm just
right. Because you should have said something here, and then you wait so fucking further along that now it's out of frame when you're saying something. So now when you're out of frame, you're out of focus, you're out of whack, and you don't know how to fucking communicate anymore.
Yeah.
So when you were sad,
you're not thinking clearly, and you don't know why.
When you're sad and scared at the beginning of it and say, hey, I need help, they give you help. But then when it's not helping, you're like, okay, well, how do I say this? I don't know how to say this because, and then you go through the loop. This bitch ain't even gonna fucking listen, and it ain't even gonna fucking matter. And nobody fucking hears my voice because as a child, my voice wasn't fucking heard. So I was taught that I am not heard. So now I'm not heard. So now really you need to dig deeper in fucking healing your inner child and allow him to be heard, which is a whole nother other thing. But like, that's what it is. You're not being heard. You're not being felt. You're not being seen.
And I'm empathic as fuck.
Right.
So
now
my whole life has been built around hanging around things that make you feel good. And when that's low.
And then when you have somebody that you feel like isn't doing their job right, how do you talk to them about that? Because you only know how to be a piece of shit because you only fucking speak up when you're ready to kill.
Hence wife too.
Yeah.
Hence wife too. Because I spent this whole time, I got it. I don't know what you're saying. I spent this whole time dealing with all the emotional backlash from wife one, that in building that relationship, I did it backwards. I immediately went to, no, you're my person, solve my fucking problems. I'll take care of everything else, but you are my goddamn happiness, and I will do anything and everything to make sure that you are taken care of. And your job is to keep me smiling. And when that pressure was too much because somebody's responsibility for your happiness is not there,
right?
Because they are a person and they are also healing and they also need space and they also need support. And me just being like, no, like, we're good, just make me laugh, damn it, is not fair to fucking anybody, because what that was a deflection and not a growth. So I spent 10 years expecting somebody else to be the fix.
Dude, are we the same person? Because like that,
so.
Dude, I went through very similar shit with my second wife, you know, first one, whew, you know, and so I was so pained from that. And so pained from all these life things, I didn't know how to move, you know, the right way. Yeah.
Well, and see, so again, we touched on, like, I'm not super tight with the fam because of the situation, and she came in right after that situation. So I invested my whole family identity in the idea of, this is my new being. This is my bubble. So when things didn't work 5 years in, and then 7 years in, and then 8 years in,
yeah,
and then now we get to the point where it's separate rooms and we don't hate each other. I to this day, if my baby's mom called me right now, I would tell you I love you, goodbye, and go get in my car and take care of what happens. We don't dislike each other. That's never been the problem. But the support and love that I was after wasn't built because there was no space for it to grow, because I was looking for the wrong things out of somebody else. I was looking for my inadequacies, not someone to build my strengths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck you, Robbie.
So like, I always say that.
I love you. I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate it. I say fuck you when people get me too.
Yeah. Good.
Like, so that's the whole thing. Like, I'll never say that what I do is a replacement for therapy. But I don't go to traditional therapy. I hire coaches.
Right.
Because traditional therapy has limits.
Right.
And like on my last coaching call I was just on, a way of teaching was to tell them to stop fucking doing that, dickhead.
Because some people needed that blunt.
Right. I doubt fucking therapists are gonna fucking be allowed to really do that so much. You know, and I take my work very seriously.
I didn't
that's why
doubt that.
That's why. What's that?
So I did not doubt that.
Thank you. And that's why it took me so long to do it. I just launched my first coaching program. We just did the 5th class. So like
solid
3 months ago, you know, from like launching the program, enrolling people and starting the program. It's taken me very many years to be okay.
I'm proud of you, dude. That's insane.
Thank you.
That's insane.
It is. It's crazy, man. And like, I can't believe it. You know, I can't believe people paid me to do it.
Besides the monetary, besides the monetary value, the will and understanding and gumption to continue to focus, to pull that kind of shit together is amazing.
Thank you.
Like
It's been 50,000+ in coaching this year alone. That I've invested just to make sure that I was on it, not to mention the coaching from the prior years.
And here I am just buying self-help books thinking I got this under control.
It started with that. It really did. It started with that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
It started with free content off the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I Googled how to be happy with tears in my fucking eyes.
Yeah.
And this beautiful fucking whitewashed man named Brendan Burchard, who is so not somebody that you would expect to see me vibe with, he spoke to me. But I have this weird obsession with like older, successful white dudes.
Yeah, like Napoleon Hill and like all that shit.
Right,
See, that's I went deep into that thinking that was going to be not just personally motivating, but a business mindset as well. So after First Wife, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to become the best version of me that I know how to be. And I went to like marketing classes and went to all these motivational raw shit for like years and learned all these like sales techniques and read all these books to help think of a way to be relevant. Did it all. Like did it fucking all, thinking that was gonna, solve all my problems. And did it get all my shit back? Did it build my life back? For sure. But was I happy when I was over? No, because I didn't fix any problems. I hyper focused on what I thought was going to make me successful, as opposed to what I thought was going to fix me.
And you didn't focus on healing.
No, I was like, it was spite. I'm getting my house back. I'm getting my car back. I'm getting my bike back. I'm going to do it better. I'm getting a better house, a better car. Fuck you, bitch. I'm putting my shit back together. First wife, sorry. That's going to fly. I don't talk to people like that, and I apologize. But that's how it was. That was my life. Everything I did wasn't out of a place of I need to grow and better myself. It was I'm getting all my, because I walked out, bro. I fucking, you can have it all. Take my name off of everything. Out.
Yeah, well, that spite. Fuck you, I'll
same.
You ruined my life. Fuck you, I'll do it without you. And that's why also when I talked about my ex-wives, I take the responsibility for what I've done too. You know what I'm saying? There's some fuckity shit on both sides, right? I wasn't a perfect human, and I'm still not a perfect human. One of the things I love about Donna so much is the fact that she loves me when I'm imperfect.
Yeah.
And she'll help nurse me back to health, but she'll also spank me when I need it. You know what I'm saying? When I need to fucking be told, hey, you need a fucking correction.
Mm-hmm. That's a trust level most people don't have, though. Most people take a correction as offense and something that is, and it's
I do.
The next day you realize it was worth it.
But you have the trust level to implicate that, as opposed to internalize and maul and be like, now I'm mad at you.
Right.
And use it as a disposition as opposed to like a
yeah. No, totally, man. And that's the thing, when I remember reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad when I was driving around with my fucking car that broke down the month after I bought it. On Valentine's Day, it broke down 2 months after fucking my wife left. So like I'm in the
happy days.
Right. I'm in the cornfields of Indiana, but I was listening to fucking Rich Dad, Poor Dad the whole time. And like I named my car Rich because we was going to be rich one day. Dude, I'm in a fucking I'm using a comforter to drive around because my heat doesn't work. I'm going to my son's basketball games embarrassed in this fucking car because I'm a fucking car guy. I love fancy cars.
Right.
So I'm over here like, oh, what a loser I am. What girl is gonna date me? And fucking my kid's probably embarrassed of me. And I'm listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, knowing that me and Rich is gonna make it through this. And we gonna be rich one day.
Love it.
And I manifested that, and I'm financially stable, but I still have to stay on top of myself.
Right.
Because if I don't pay attention, I hate my life, even on beautiful days with my beautiful fucking house and my beautiful fucking pool. My fucking backyard has fucked up my life. I can't go on vacation and appreciate their pool anymore. because my backyard is sick.
Man, you want to come hang out in the hood with me for a little bit?
Bro, for real.
No, so when I was in my early 20s, I used to work for a super prestigious high-end dry cleaner. Like I had to have security background checks, and to go on the property that I was just previously mentioning, they were one of our high-end clients. So like I was exposed to a level of wealth that put my life on a you kind of fucking up, bro. Like you're the delivery guy, you know. Like, and so to be in the $5 million plus houses all day every day, I got to the point where I was like, I'm just gonna swoop through the hood real quick, roll the windows down, take like 9 deep breaths, smell the burnt rock, smell the gasoline on the street. Fucking wind smells like someone's cooking something that's already burnt. Okay. See that house? All its windows are broke. My windows aren't broke. My car just started. That guy's working on his.
Right.
Okay. All right. We're doing okay. That guy's strung out. I'm not strung out anymore. I got my shit under control. I'm good there. Let's drive home. Okay. So it allowed this moment of false appreciation. And it was the worst way to do it. Instead of being grateful and going home and being like, hey, yay, I'm super thankful, I had to do the opposite. I had to go hate on somebody else in order to get that appreciating feeling.
Well, no,
so
and it's not hating on somebody else as much as it is like, dude, one day I was really fucking mad. I was supposed to go to a fucking amputee wake surfing thing. And I was waking up at like 5 a.m. to go do this. Well, my baby, he wouldn't go to sleep that night. And Donna was afraid for me to leave. And I was like struggling because I was mad at her for being afraid of me to leave. But I was also afraid to leave because it was a 3-hour drive each way.
Yeah.
So like I threw a tantrum and I threw a fit and I went through my shit. And then she convinces me to stay home. Well, I think it was just a better idea to stay home. Right. So I stay home. We decided to go to my tattoo shop that day. I fucking walk in and there's Gary Miracle. Who is that, you ask? He's a man with no arms and no legs.
Someone you needed to meet that day.
Yep. And I come into the shop. He's like, I've been dying to meet you. I'm like, I am so happy I met you. Because all us amputees, we want to know each other. Because we understand the struggle.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
And I was really bummed out. I was like, I was supposed to be wake surfing today with amputees so I could get my amputee fix, so I could be around that energy, so we could cry together and talk together and grow together and fucking deal with this together. And I didn't fucking get that. And I'm fucking mad and I didn't get that. And then I walk into my studio 9 minutes from my fucking house and Gary Miracle, fucking 10 amputees and one is sitting there. With like the power of a miracle. And fucking, man, I'm seeing him with his fucking nubs and he's fucking holding his phone up with his nubs and he's using his phone with his fucking nubs, typing and shit. He's got a fucking Jeep, the Jeep truck thing sitting out in the fucking parking lot that he drives on his own. He's got his beautiful fucking daughter and his beautiful fucking best friend with him. And these people are just loving him and fucking happy to be there, and he's happy to be there. And he tells me about, dude, I lost my leg December fucking 20th of 2019. This motherfucker lost all 4 limbs on New Year's Eve. Went to a fucking coma because he had fucking strep or some shit, and it went septic, and he ended up losing his limbs from below the joints. So he's got joints, he's got elbow joints, and he's got knee joints. And I walk in and I fucking see him that day, and fucking he changed my life in those moments, man. Now I'm gonna tattoo him tomorrow. I'm so excited that I get to go and tattoo Gary tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe I get to do this. I can't believe I get to be with these people in real life. So, yes, while you say like it was a shitty way, like, no, I'm not putting Gary down at all. I'm just saying I am so fucking inspired by the fact that he overcame so much more than I feel like I overcame, that I can fucking use his inspiration to guide me. And you use those people's fucking situation to guide you.
That's fair.
And you've got a very negative self-view because you've probably not fucking had the fucking support that you needed your whole life. Your little fucking child, little baby Ben inside is hurting like fucking crazy.
God damn.
And he doesn't fucking know how to be loved. He doesn't know how to fucking feel good because no one fucking taught him that. So when you go do something that makes you feel good, you fucking feel bad immediately because church made you feel bad about anything that fucking felt good.
Yeah. Undeserved.
Undeserved. Bro, I got a fucking life-changing settlement from losing my leg. And do you know how fucking hard it is for me to accept that? I still have a fucking negative relationship with money, and I still don't like to receive. I want to want. I don't want to receive. Because it's easier to want and fall short than it is to receive and fucking thrive.
Because you're guilty.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, Ink Mag put a video out about me losing my leg. I watched it twice. Once when it came out because I really needed to see it. And it was an interview of me and then them splicing it together with beautiful music and all kinds of shit. It was gorgeous. I love it. It kills me and I love watching it. But I've only watched it twice because it hurts really bad to like relive
Very
that.
emotional video.
Right.
Very emotional video. Like I
Yeah.
ugly cry fucking hard a lot. And Donna decided at the end of the video, when I'm at like the peak of vulnerability, she's now going to read all of the positive comments to me for a fucking hour, dog. For a fucking hour. I sat there holding myself and shaking and ugly crying and physically in pain because I couldn't receive all that good.
Yeah.
And that was this year. Like, so for all the growth and all the positivity and all the love and all the good that I have and that I do, there's so much to battle through.
Yeah.
I used to be the guy that could fucking take hallucinogens and go get a fucking pedicure. Now, if I fucking take the same amount of hallucinogens, I'm probably going to pop open with all kinds of fucking sad feelings, and I'm scared as fuck to do them. So, like, I'm starting to get into a microdose regimen to help me with some of that pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because I read the fucking self-help books. I pay the fucking tens of thousands of dollars in fucking coaching. I fucking do the fucking work. I fucking listen to books when I'm reading other books. I've usually got about 3 to 5 books going all at one time in my life. I'm constantly journaling every day and every night, in the morning and at night. Fucking, I meditate when I wake up. Like I wake up like 2 hours before I wake up, and I pop in a headphone, and then I fucking turn on like YouTube meditations, guided meditations, and then I go back to sleep to program my subconscious. Like, dude, I do a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
And I still hate my life sometimes. And I still have to fucking reframe my thoughts. And I still have to battle unworthiness.
That's
And I
tough.
still have to battle not being able to receive. And I still have to practice receiving.
Yeah.
And my dad's dead, and I still have to work on the relationship I had with him. Because nothing that we go through has any fucking thing to do with anybody else. It's all what the fuck is going on inside us. If I am not the problem, there is no solution. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
My favorite part is Kyle's reaction to what we're doing together. Because me and Kyle did some shit like this, but I wasn't in my power that day the way I am now. You remember, Kyle, I was fucking terrified. You remember the one time you and Lauren were on, and like you guys were both dead from the convention, and I was like, I'm feeling like you guys don't want to be here, so I'm having a really hard time being here. Fuck.
Yeah.
And it's taken 11 episodes now for me to be like, oh wow, no, I actually enjoy doing these episodes and I feel good about it. And now I'm not afraid nobody's gonna come to the fucking party. Because fat kid Robbie, when he was having his 13th birthday party, looked down and realized I'm having a pool party and I got stretch marks on my stomach. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Nobody's gonna come, and if they do come, they're gonna see how fucking losery and fat I am. Holy shit. So now I think everybody's going to show up to my pool party and see my fucking stretch marks. And even worse, they won't even show up. And the one person that did is going to tell everybody else what a loser I am. And the funny thing is that doesn't happen.
Right.
Show up and tell me how fucking sweet dick I am and how fucking great the things I'm doing are and how wonderful my fucking knowledge is. The knowledge I didn't even realize I possessed, but have been fucking working so hard on cultivating that why the fuck didn't I realize I possess it? Because if you're fucking digging trenches and you look back and be like, oh, there's no trenches there. What the fuck? That's stupid.
Sure.
If you build houses and say, I don't do anything in this world, I haven't built anything. No, that's not true. You fucking house people. And I build fucking houses in people's heart for them to fucking hold space for themselves, for them to love themselves, for them to heal themselves, for them to fucking tap into their fucking inner child, for them to get fucking weird and breathe and cry. Bro, I fucking love making people cry. Not because I like fucking seeing people cry, but because I know that we all fucking need it. And so many of us are so fucking afraid to do it that if we just fucking did it, we'd be better.
Yeah.
Dog, I got off a fucking call with one of my coaches yesterday and he's like, you need to fucking go on a live video right now and speak from the heart because I love where you're at right now. And so I did. And it was ugly, son. I fucking cried hard. Like real hard. And talked about how fucking fake I feel and how much of an imposter I feel like and how fucking I don't feel like I'm doing anything good in this world. The fucking title of the video was I've been lying to you. Was because I've been lying to my fucking self and I've been hiding the fucking progress I've been getting from my class. I've not been talking about that anywhere except in our private groups. I'm not telling people, yo, look at what the fuck we're doing. Look at this person fucking acknowledging their father's fucking stronghold on their life from years ago. And look at this person fucking realizing how they've been fucking holding on to their trauma. And now they're fucking working through it. Like, dude, I got people fucking cracking open left and right in this fucking group. I got people that are afraid to ask for fucking help, telling me, hey, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I don't understand your class yet. So then it gives me the opportunity to open up and say, well, guess what? Y'all knew I didn't know what I was doing. I told every single one of y'all that, but I knew enough to start. So if you're not understanding, help me help you understand. And class, please help them understand.
Let's grow. Let's grow.
Yeah, let's grow. And you know what happened?
Yeah.
From her saying that, I found fucking 2 people have brought up so many different fucking ways that they're using my lessons to help them heal and change their life. That they're
Different channels.
Yeah, dude, they're streamlining it for us. One of the people said, she goes, I have column 1, column 2, and column 3. Column 1 is who I am, where I am now. Column 3 is who I want to be and where I want to be. Column 2 is where I fill with what do I have to be to get to column 3. And that came from Tuesday night's class.
Wait, that sounds so goddamn simple.
It is.
But
things in life are simple, they're just not easy.
But that's the most complicated like the actual implication of what you just said. You turned a month of work to 4 words.
Yeah.
Column A, B, and C.
Yeah. And that was something that one of the students gave me, man. Because they believe in me enough to help me help others.
Right. Well, and all of these people that are right. All of these people that are seeking help have probably on some level had other avenues of exploration for help. Even if it's books they've read, things they've listened to, other things they've tapped into, other lines of feed. Tap rooting is the thing of knowledge. Like your network's worth, right? So if you're not using the availability of using their knowledge to your gain, that's the point of life. Right. Like is to absorb the people around you, like everything, right?
Yeah, dude.
So taking that mindset into the availability of how much information there is on how to, you can't read every self-help book.
No, you
but talk to 500 people, and I bet you they're all there.
And
all that knowledge is encompassed.
and not everything is going to work for you. And
Right.
that's the point of this course. Not everything works for everyone. And that was one of the things that we went over. Like, okay, so one of the people in the class, bro, so there we go. So because that one person was scared to ask for help, and she was afraid to hurt my feelings by saying, I don't understand the class yet. So this other person in the class came up with this fucking spreadsheet on all these different therapies and modalities to help yourself, down to do it with a practitioner first, safe to do on your own, and like all these different things and resources
Jeez.
and all this stuff. One of my fucking students did that for me, but they did it for themselves and they fucking shared it with the class.
But that open platform is not available most of the time. So to have that mindset of we are in this together, we're
Yes.
taking these steps together, we're
Yes.
looking at this project together, because
Yeah.
the end goal for everyone is the same. The path is always different. So to use that open, like that, you're
You feel
fucking
me, right?
genius, and I love you.
Dude, and I'm not a genius. You know why? Because
No.
I stole this information from other people, because good artists steal, bad artists copy. So
Well, you still have to duplicate, bud. You still have to believe it, preach
Yes.
it, and learn it, and
Yes.
absorb it, and have it, and make it
Absolutely.
your own. It's the same as good art. I can't walk away and put Picasso just because I fucking looked at one. You can't
Right.
take this stuff and
Right.
implicate it if it's not on your heart and on your mind. So
Yeah.
it's
But,
not going to
you know
just
what?
stick because you regurgitated the information.
Hey, thank you. And I received that. I received that
Yeah.
compliment with open hands. I receive it with an open heart. And that's part of the practice. When I just stopped you and said, no, I don't receive this, I stopped you again and said, yes, I do receive this. Because that first fucking the first speech pattern was I don't receive, right? I didn't do this, I stole this, right? No, I fucking did, because how many thousands have I put in? How many hours of work have I put in?
Yep.
How much fucking stress and worry and insecurity have I fucking put in? How many fucking times have I cried in front of the fucking camera just to fucking be vulnerable and honest and real, so people can fucking feel that that's okay, so men can fucking cry, so women who are also told not to fucking cry can cry? Like the person that made that fucking spreadsheet, bro, her father wanted a boy. Like, so much to the point where he got fucking hammered one night. They both took off their shirts together, and he's like, I'm gonna teach you karate. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a boy, I'm gonna learn karate. And so now she's learning how to get through all the boy stuff that was programmed into her, so she could tap into her fucking divine feminine. And every time she cries, I get so proud. It's weird, man. I got this one mentor, Scott. He's a bigger dude than me, and so when he hugs me, he fucking envelops me. So like,
It's tough to
I love
find.
his hugs. It's so
Yeah.
good. And we're on a great fucking level, and we get each other, and we understand each other, and we're both leaders, healers, teachers, lovers, givers, and receivers. But like, when fucking something goes wrong and you realize it, Scott smiles. Big smile. Because he's like, we're demon slaying right now.
Connection, dink. Neuropython was a creation, was just you carved that tunnel in your brain, and your spark
Right.
just hit. Most
Right.
people don't realize that when you're going through these things, you're literally creating pathways in your brains to feel different things. Your mind is literally changing. And if you don't use those pathways, and you don't exercise those pathways, and you don't continue those lines of thoughts, and you don't exercise those thoughts, you're gonna root back to the easy self-hating paths that are ingrained in your brain. So watching someone create that, I can't imagine the
Yeah.
self-fulfillment in that, bro. Like, I see that, I feel that. That's
Dude. So,
uh,
and the way the universe works is really cool, because I've been needing to learn how to tap into my inner child, and I've been looking for fucking therapy for that. And it's really hard to find therapy for that. So I think I just actually found one of my fucking like main ways to like help people. Because hey, you want to fucking talk to your inner child? I learned how to do that, so I can help you learn how to do that. And it was really
I'm in.
simple, right? Like, it was really simple for me. So I tattooed Kiki. When me and Kiki had a fucking consult, we cried together in the consult. Her brother died. She was getting the tattoo covered up that she was getting with him. And it was closing a door, right? So me and Kiki we do this, we set up this appointment, we do the tattoo. The day I do her tattoo is the day after they did a local to me workshop, healing workshop, local to me. So we're talking about all these things. She tells me that we have this workshop. I'm like, sign me up. And this was a $300 workshop. Bro, I spent $3,000 on one ticket to be in a room with Tony Robbins for 4 days. This was $300 to work like closely, fucking really fucking demon slaying, right?
Nice.
So I was like, whoa, so my poor relationship with money can't fucking get in the way. So I have to go do this healing. So I go to this workshop, right? First night, they send you home. Scott says, dress as your inner child, dress as your 3 or 4 year old would dress tomorrow. Sorry, my son just texted me. Dress as your 3-year-old self would dress. So I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know how to do that. But I learned in tattooing, when I don't know what it's supposed to look like or where the colors are supposed to go or what the colors are supposed to be, I wait.
Right.
Do what I know, and then what I don't know comes to me. So I was like, all right, my inner child is going to tell me something, or at least I'll be able to fake it or whatever, you know, something will happen.
Yeah.
Wake up the next morning, and it was a 3-day intensive, and it was long days. So I woke up early, like at 6 or 7 in the morning to get there on time. So I wake up and I either am mad or crying in the mornings. Like those are my 2 easiest places to go to. When I'm normal and just like baseline comfortable, I'm like, wow, that's really beautiful. I didn't expect this. When I'm happy, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? So like, it's really easy for me to tap into emotions in the morning. So I woke up and I was laying in bed, about to get out of bed. And I was like, hey, how would we dress? Talking to my inner child. How would you dress? How do you want me to dress us? And he made me pay for that answer. Because he had a statement he needed to make before he would answer. And he says, we don't play together anymore.
Oh, fuck.
He told me I don't play with him anymore, man. So then we had to have a good cry about it.
Yeah.
So we laid in bed together and had a cry about it. And then once we were done crying, I apologized. I thanked him. And I told him that I promise we're going to play together more. And then he fucking told me what I wanted to wear. I wore my pink fucking flamingo swim trunks and my flip-flops and my Gryffindor shirt and my Gryffindor cloak. And
Wow.
I left the house in my son's Chevy Spark dressed like that.
Love it.
And that's how I learned how to talk to my inner child. All because of a fucking client that I had that has now become my soul sister. It is one of the people that I love so much. And when she did a fucking tarot card reading on me a couple months ago, I was crazy in the head. And she goes, "Are you playing?" I'm like, "Shut up. Don't fucking talk to me like that, bitch."
Right.
I hate you, Kiki. Don't tell me the truth.
Right. And people that understand you on that level can really cut through the bullshit sometimes. Yep. And Fawn actually did it to me the other day. She was like, sorry, let me work through this. She's like, Ben, it's okay.
You got a lot
sometimes
of that need to happen.
You got me a bunch today, bro. But she goes, Ben, it's okay. Sometimes people are gonna do nice things for you. And I like we're mid tattoo, and I just kind of rolled over and was just like, yeah, I guess that's gonna happen. Sometimes some nice things. Like I couldn't process it. And then later that night, it was with somebody else that was in the room as well. And later that night, it really hit me, and I was like, dude, you get mad when people help.
Ooh, you don't like to receive.
You know, it's told not to. I don't trust it.
Right. You're afraid to. Who
Right.
receives?
I know.
The devil. Devil's trying to get me.
no one gives gifts. You have to fucking work for it. Like, you know, like,
Dude,
I
like
didn't
Bobby
earn
Boucher's
that.
mom,
That's not
everything's
mine.
the devil. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't earn that. You didn't work for that. You
Mm,
didn't grind to get that. So it's not, you don't deserve it.
right.
And then when somebody does something that you don't deserve, it's like, well, then I'm taking away from you
Yeah.
because you worked for that. And, you know, I'm not worth more than your work. Like, that's disrespectful.
Bro,
Like, I'm
former
offended
me-
when people buy me Christmas presents.
the former me, I don't know if you guys can see it, says on my chest, my loss is your gain. Because I was totally at peace with giving away pieces of me for others' gain. If you are okay with coming in here with just waking up head and face, you're more than welcome to join.
Bring it.
I'm on a podcast talking about stuff in life. It's actually tattoo collecting 101, but I'm making people cry and shit. So
Yeah, it's your thing.
it is my thing. Got some
Now,
tears that come out. Holler at
a
me.
little bit. Apparently, you're good at pulling them. But we branch way off here at collecting. It's about collecting in life and about the community and being
Okay.
involved in the community. And what we all have one thing to focus on is we all collect tattoos. We all have different journeys. We all have different paths from and through that. But our commonality is tattoos.
Absolutely. This is my little son Zen.
Hello.
His middle name is Vision,
Zen Vision.
and it was gonna be his first name. We ended on Zen. And really one of the main reasons why Vision was so important to me to name him was because our fathers didn't teach us vision.
Truth. My vision was you might want to get a job with your hands.
Right. You know, Tony Robbins teaches about vision. It's very important. A lot of these every business dude, like super successful business dudes, if you don't have a vision, you are going to fail. Because if you don't, what is it? If you fail to have a plan, you're planning to fail.
Yeah.
And vision is your plan. And it's like you said, you're dying for it, bro. Your therapist isn't helping you create a clear-cut action plan.
Truth.
And you need a clear-cut action plan. Truth is, you don't need your therapist. You don't need me. You have that book. That's your guide. You're just afraid to start. Because we're all afraid to start. Because if we start, what's going to happen? Is it going to break? Am I going to fail? Am I going to quit? Are people going to make fun of me? Am I going to feel even more less than?
Well, and you get convinced into this. Well, you know what you need? What you need is therapy. And you need to go talk to someone. And it's like, it takes someone 3 years for me just to kind of go through the shit. Like, you got a synopsis this evening. That was the briefest description of fuckery.
You got to kind of build up to that level.
You can't, and I can't look somebody in the eye the first time I'm going to say this. I'm kind of proud for the amount I've talked today on air, on record. I don't talk about my personal life on this show, bro.
I'm
so
you've too,
bro. So, when you get fed this line of you need to talk, you need to do this with somebody else, and I get that. Like, I understand that the space to communicate needs to be there, but when you don't know, the connection's not there. You think you're doing it right, you think you're plugging in, you think you're doing what needs to be done, but man.
Dude, so look, check it out.
I feel like all I do is bitch while I'm there, and she goes, you're the expert on you tell me.
Right. And like, so that's why I like what I do differently, because my programs are not cheap. They're an investment in yourself. And the thing about the programs that I produce is they are here to help you cut time out of the in-between. So yeah, you could do this work all on your own, but when you're stuck, who are you going to ask? You know, like coaches for sports, they videotape their athletes They talk to their athletes. They go over what they've done right, what they've done wrong, and how they can improve. That's what I'm going to do for you. So that athlete will go ahead and get themselves to peak physical condition and peak performance abilities. But with that coach, they're going to cut time out of that. They're going to get more precise, and they're going to have the outside vision and perspective and guidance. So, and that's why when you work with somebody to help you figure these things out, you're getting a lot of the stuff you already know. Right? Most of my coaches give me shit I already know, but they present it to me in a way that I needed to hear and can hear. And then they give me permission. They give me permission to be fucking rad. They give me permission to be a fucking coach. They give me permission to cry. They give me permission to hurt. They give me permission to heal. And then they give me guidance on how to make it through all of it.
Right.
So when you're sitting there begging for guidance like you've been doing, and not getting it, you get to this frustrated point. But now I'm going to challenge you. Sit with yourself. Figure out what it is you don't like about your therapist and force yourself. If you need to create a split between you and her, create an amicable split and be a grown-up about it. And don't throw a fucking temper tantrum at her, and don't put your shit on her. Maybe you guys just aren't aligned, and maybe she's just not strong enough to tell you that. Or maybe that's just her practice. Maybe you'll get there with her 10 years from now. But the thing is, my programs and a lot of the coaches that are out there are looking to get you there faster.
Right.
So, you know, like maybe what you're coming to her for isn't her skill set. You know, sit down with her and be like, what is your skill set? Because I feel like I'm not getting out of this what I expected to get out of this. So could you create some clarity for me?
Right. Because it was literally like, hey, find someone to talk to. And I went, who does my insurance deal with?
Right.
Who has my time slot? Let's do that.
Right. And it might take you growing out of your comfort zone in ways that it isn't convenient for you and it isn't covered under your insurance.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe your insurance has another therapist in there that'll be sweet dick and solid for you. But if it's not working for you, if it is broke and you can't fix it, ask for help.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, because you don't realize there's no one to say this isn't right. There's no one to say that if you're not getting what you want out of it, stop.
Right.
Who else do I have this conversation with?
Right.
I don't, because I thought I was having it with somebody that was a paid professional.
Right.
And so when I thought I was doing the work, how do you even how am I didn't know I was doing it wrong.
Right. Well, you're not even doing it wrong. You're just not.
You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah,
you're
not
doing something is always better than nothing.
Right. Exactly. But it's not landing for you, and it's not clicking, and it's not connecting. That's why when the one person in my class said, "Hey, I don't understand this," instead of being like, "Oh, well, you're not trying hard enough," or "You're stupid," or, you know, "I know what I'm doing." It's, no, well, you knew I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew enough to start. And so thanks for the feedback. Let's fix this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the structure that I happen to fall into with this program makes it perfect, because I spend 2 weeks on each pillar of the program. So the first week of this, or week 4 was how to dive into your toolkit, your emotional toolkit. Well, week 5 was providing clarity on what that looked like for everyone else. So that way we could help the one person that needed it, but ended up giving so many other clarities and so many other things for so many other people, because that person asked for help.
Right.
So now you have to ask for help again. And it's your turn to ask for help again. And if this person can't provide it for you, then you find it elsewhere.
Fair.
Because, I mean, imagine if you had an external coach like me, and then you had a therapist that you really connected with, how far you could go, how fast, how much growth you could accomplish, how much you could stop hating yourself, how much you could start loving yourself, appreciating yourself, receiving. You could learn how to receive. Ben, you're allowed to learn how to receive. You're supposed to know how to receive. Your birthright is everything you've ever fucking wanted, and all you have to do is claim that shit.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I'll send you a bill. That way you can feel like you earned this.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
But seriously, man,
That's
you needed
tough.
this today, and that's why we're here, right? And I needed this authority. I needed to fucking be able to step into a room with authority, because that's been a struggle for me. And talking to people like you that are me.
Yeah, that's rare, brother. Let me tell you, it's very, very rare that in fucking we've been talking an hour now. To learn this much about Ben. Kyle, how long have you known me?
Couple months, and yeah, I'm learning right now.
How much of that shit of me did you know? So it's very, very, very rare, especially on a recorded event, for me to say anything about anybody in my life.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mentally prepared. I knew slightly about your rad movement, and by that I meant you were like, hey, embrace yourself and be happy. I didn't know it was this deep. I'm gonna be real. I
didn't know we were gonna get this deep. I was like, I know what Robbie's capable of, but man, you just went.
Why the fuck didn't you warn me, Kyle? There was no text message like, hey, bro, it's gonna, you might, nothing. Just let me walk into this.
That's often.
And you know how synchronistic it is. Like, Fawn messaged me on Instagram a while ago and said, like, hey, do you want to come on the tattoo collecting show? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't commit to a time because I just kept forgetting to look at my schedule and make it happen. Then I got the message tonight while I was on that other call, and I was like, yeah, actually, you know what? And I said, at the worst, if my son and Donna are here, you know, like, are you guys cool with that? And she was like, yeah, that'd be even better. So like, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. So now I have nothing standing in my way. And then when I got off that call, Donna and the baby were asleep. So I was like, cool, now it's perfect timing. So the universe set us up like this, man.
So you want to hear something super crazy? Let me tell you the other side of that. So I got stuck at work today. I rode my motorcycle to work, and where part of where I work is a motorcycle shop. I work in the other office next to it. I don't work on bikes. But so I rode my bike into work today, and they're like, hey, let's do this, that, and the other. I'm like, cool. So it ends up taking way longer. I'm stuck at work. I'm running late for podcast. I'm already stressed out. I probably would not have came if Fawn wouldn't have been on the road, because it was one of those days already where I'm like, you know, the bike's taking too long. This is going wrong. I had a parent teacher conference for my daughter who's in preschool this evening that I was like very, very back and forth about going to, because it's the first one. Her mom and I aren't together, so I feel it's very important for me to be engaged in those things, and I feel like I've been absent from them. So I had a lot of guilt with not being able to go to that. And like, so there was a lot built on me not coming to this. And then Fawn's like, oh, I'm on the road. Fawn, I love you. Because
I love you too, Ben. I've been listening all along.
She's still with us.
Yeah, I'm still
with
I've been here the whole time.
So like, yeah. Hi, brother.
Gosh, she was here.
It's great to meet you. We were supposed to talk tonight.
Yeah, man.
And I'm really, really glad we did.
I am too. You know, one thing I think you probably went through as well, the narrative that I've learned is I grew up in a household where I wasn't seen. And I grew up in a room with no mirrors, so I couldn't see that I was a magical unicorn.
No, because you were told what you were.
Yeah, nobody told me I was magical.
Yeah.
Nobody told me I was a unicorn.
Well, because I was a burden. I wasn't magical. I was the last. I was the problem. I was the surprise. I was the learning disability. I was the special need. I was the driving out of time. I was always the last and always the burden.
My dad hated fat people. I was the fat one. I was the loudmouth. I was fucking over opinionated. I spoke up too much.
Yep.
I always talk back. I always had a different perspective. I was too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I had to force my dad into fucking teaching me how to tattoo. Granted, I started my informal apprenticeship at 12 years old. And because I wouldn't stop. Like I wouldn't stop. I was so obsessed with it because my dad was a tattooer. So like I was obsessed with it. It was just what I needed. And then after my first divorce, my mom told me that my dad never believed in me. And furthermore, he didn't really like me for a while.
Swallow that.
Yeah. So now if I feel like a mentor or a father figure or somebody I look up to doesn't believe in me or doesn't agree with who I am, it breaks me.
So when you put all this effort into all these jobs and you pour your life into bettering somebody else and doing what you do and digging deep and giving everything you've got, and it blows up in your face, and you look at these guys and they're supposed to be lifting you up, instead they're keeping you back because you're their employee, not their fucking family. So you feel abandoned because you've done all this stuff to try to elevate this place and you get nowhere, so you just leave and quit and you start a new fucking career. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, shit like that. My parents didn't want me to fucking expand the studio. Years. I worked in my parents' shop for 15 years and they held me back. I loved them very much. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a tattoo career. But working with my family, they wouldn't let me go bigger. My business partner believes in me. I think that's why I'm in business with him. I love him to death, but like he doesn't know tattooing as much as other than he loves it. And he's been one of my great friends for over 20 years. And he knows how to run business. So I'm like, cool, he'll help me run the business. But really what I fucking have him in there for is to believe in me more so than anything. I really feel like he's older than me. So I look up to him and I respect him, and he's still fun and we can smoke pot together. And like, he accepts me and he believes in me. He believed in me so much.
I've spent a lot of time trying to get people to see that I'm not the perception of what people think I am or who I am or how I appear to be. And when you spend a lot of time overachieving, I hate to say it that way, but that's not how it is. Right. But like putting in that extra and feeling like you need to do more to prove yourself, and not getting that congratulation and reciprocation, and not, it's stifling, bro. Like
super stifling.
So that's the fourth time you've talked about different things that you've made me leak about. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk to you anymore on air. I think I have to mentally shut down from this conversation.
Yeah,
because I don't have, I'm gonna have to rewind this. We're already to the point where I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
It's a lot at once. It's a lot at once. I haven't talked about my family in fucking years. You stuff, you move on, you grow, you build. So you never dissect. And to do that here, I'm feeling pretty raw right now, bro. Oh,
but you're in a place where you're loved, you're appreciated, you're looked up to, you're respected, you're revered. For all the people that didn't believe in you, think about all the viewers that fucking rely on you, that you don't even know. You are impacting people's lives that you have zero idea how much impact you've made. And you've changed people's lives just by being fucking strong enough to sit in the seat you're sitting in. I just got tattooed by a local artist to me the other day. And he's like, man, you're all over reinventing. And to me, I made a text message to Gabe asking him if I could do a feelings show on reinventing.
I love it.
And that's how I got this opportunity, because I guessed it with Gabe at Off the Map years ago. And we made a connection back then. And the reason why I wanted to do a feelings show, and the reason why I brought Gabe up about feelings, is because he would always say, I thought I smelled feelings, when he'd seen me out after that.
I love it.
I never thought I would be revered, respected, appreciated, and in the seat that I'm in. Always wanted to.
I'm just a shop hang around, bro. Like I'm not it. Yeah, like
something bigger than that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I've
Oh.
never felt like I've earned a place in this ring, like because I'm not a tattooer. I'm not an artist. I don't paint.
You
I
don't
don't. I'm not.
What's
What?
that?
I think Robbie's trying to tell you that this is your place in the ring.
Right.
I know. I
Own
was
it.
getting there. I just had I
Right.
had a circle to get through before I got there. Fine.
Well, you know, and it seems like Fawn's very in tune with what's going on here.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I think she reached out to me.
I think she set me up.
Probably. We do that to people sometimes on accident.
I knew it was going to get deep, but I didn't expect you guys to connect quite like this. It's been pretty awesome to listen to. That's why I've just kind of been silent, because you guys have had the most magic conversation.
Air
Yeah,
hugs.
magical is how I would describe it as well.
Air hugs to
It's
Fawn.
funny because my class is the Rad Academy powered by the magical motherfucker method. Because what are tattooers going to sign up for other than a class that has a curse word in the name?
Fair.
Makes them feel safe.
Right.
And
This is
fuck
home.
fuck is our everywhere adjective.
Right.
Use it for good, bad, ugly, indifferent, things you don't know. Like,
Most versatile word in the English language.
right.
All encompassing fuck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then, you know, like if you want to dig deeper than that, Tony Robbins uses aggressive language on purpose at certain times to invoke certain emotions with people.
Mhm. It's a game. Gary V preaches it's the
Yep.
inner self. So
Right.
if your natural self is to fuck a lot and you say that and you move that, be that, why are you stifling yourself for anybody?
Right.
And that I think that has a lot to do with being heavily tattooed. I think that has a lot to
Right.
do with pink dreads and expressing yourself and being loud and being yourself and being in public. And I've struggled with that for a long time. I started getting tattooed because it built a bubble. It built if you don't want to get to know me, you can stay the fuck away from me and save me the time of interaction with you, you narrow-minded piece of fucking shit. I don't want to know you.
And that way you can't hurt me.
Ding.
You can't hurt
You
little
don't-
Ben
Right.
because he's still scared. He's still sad. And he still just wants to fucking
Why you gotta do it again, man? Like you just keep looping back to that.
Here. Here. Look, here's a hairless cat. It'll make you
I
smile.
want to pet the kitty. You brought the kid on. You got me for a second. I was distracted. I was like, "Yay, babies!" But nope, right back. No, it's insane though. It's.
I need to thank you so much for acknowledging my power, because dude, I have had a very hard time stepping into my power. I've had a very
Dude,
hard time using my superpowers.
I have. I told you I used to go to Rob meetings for my job, like motivational speeches. I've listened to millions of them. I've read so many books and listened to so many people tell me how I should be thinking and what to do. I've talked to you for an hour. You know more about me in an hour. And now whoever the fuck else is going to listen to this recording, welcome to my inner life. Because
if
you're
you want-
willing to listen.
Yeah.
Because you were willing to have the conversation. Because you knew where to take the conversation. You know how to say, this isn't ego, this is humble, this is help. Fuck, your power is bigger than you even think. I don't do this. I especially don't do this in public. I especially don't do this in front of a microphone. It's
We can thank my dad for that. I had a 6'4" Cuban man that was too tough, that I was always trying to crack him and always trying to break him. One of my favorite things to do was make my dad laugh. And when I made my dad laugh, man, it was like the gods laughing, because he fought it so hard. And then when he fucking laughed, whoosh, boom, which is why I know how to break through people. So I use my intuition and I use my skills from my past that used to bother me. Dude, before my dad died, he would call me Dr. Phil in a mocking fashion. Bro, I got into a straight up like, fuck you at my dad when he's sitting on his fucking recliner in his house one day. Talking about, you gonna call me Dr. Phil, motherfucker? You think this is funny? You want to fucking know what I really do, you stupid son of a bitch? I fucking help people. You're afraid of your fucking feelings. Like, I went all in on him about that shit.
And you're
And
still
then what happened-
wait. And you're still not claiming your own power?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
Wait, hold on. You just
Yeah.
fucked with me again.
yeah.
So in all this, you still don't see that.
I see
Your
it
whole
now.
preach is see the magic.
Yeah,
So the work doesn't stop.
never ends. Never ends.
There's never a fix. It's a mindset.
Life sentence, dude.
I can't read another book
And
to
fix it.
fix the problem.
That's why I've read hundreds of books. Because I've been trying to fix me. But you know what has
Fuck
happened?
you.
I woke up the other day, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. I realized I am no longer angry every morning.
It's beautiful.
You know how fucking powerful that was to feel that?
That's beautiful.
I was on the elliptical with my fucking 21-year-old in the gym. And I was like, bruh, I didn't even realize, like, I'm not fucking angry in the mornings all the time anymore. I've been working for this for years. So the thing is, no, you don't get to quit working, but you do overcome things, and they will come back to you sometimes, and you will have to fight that battle again.
See, I've been doing this
But when
real
you-
thing where it's like I build this thing up and I do all this work and I think I'm in that moment. I feel like I'm in that bubble and I'm in that high and I've got all my fires, everything's in the right order. And fuck yeah, Ben, you did it again. And then this leaves and that breaks and that fails and that falls apart and this changes and that shifts. And now you're sad.
Because those
Because-
are opportunities for growth and self-awareness and introspection and self-discovery.
But instead,
You decide to go to the easy route. And you stay there for a little bit, but then you build again, right? Because you and
it's a 5-year gaps at this point.
Right. But you know what? When you get, dude, I was on a call with one of my coaches the other day, and we were gonna go through a situation where a man that I look up to, that I respect, allegedly said I'm uncoachable. And I wanted to work through that. But then instead, I was like, you know what, Carla? I'm so fucking tired of my relationship with money. I want to work on that instead. Fuck this. I know that that has something to do with my dad, and that's something I'm working on. And, you know, my relationship with family and parents and all that. Fine. But I'm fucking tired of my relationship with money. Can we fucking work on this? Because I need to. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm quite fucking stable financially. If I look at the 3 houses that I have ownership stake in, and the fucking, because 2 of them are fucking investment properties, the fucking Edward Jones accounts, the crypto accounts, the tattoo shop, the coaching. Like, dude, I'm not in a way where I should worry about money. But even in the position I'm in now, I still act like a 17-year-old kid that has to break open the piggy bank to fucking buy pizza. And the thing is, you teach what you need to learn. And one thing a lot of coaches have told me is the people that are going to learn from you are just a few steps behind you. The dudes that I all look up to and the women that I all look up to, whether they're older or younger than me, have just figured out a few of the things I need to figure out. So when they tell me I go through this too, I'm like, yes, now I know you're human, you're not infallible, you're not God, and you're not perfect, and I'm not being held to an unrealistic standard when I'm around you. You're telling me I fuck up too. So let me teach you how I don't fuck up, or what I do when I do fuck up, so we can come back to human and healthy and happy and whole.
And in this environment, there's an instant trust, dude. In having somebody that is like-minded, open-minded, heavily tattooed, living the same, to go into the chick that grew up in Oxford House and drives a Beamer, and we're on different levels. We're not the same people. We didn't come from the same group. We're not in the same family. To have somebody like you in the family is huge. There was instant trust with you with me. Instant.
And that's part of what
Because
I knew because we are in the same group. We are in the same family. You may not feel like you belong in the tattoo world, but you feel like you belong in the tattoo world because you are one of us. You're a part of us.
it's a place I found acceptance all these years of looking for a family.
The tattoo world is the land of misfit toys. Me and Kyle talked about this type of shit too. You know, it's like
It's the
where we
circus show,
come.
man.
It's where we come to feel good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
It's where we come to feel normal.
right.
It's not even good. It's put myself around people that are even slightly aligned with my point of view.
Right.
It's our church.
Toy Story 3, Lotso Huggin' Bear, you know, he took all the fucking misfit and broken toys and he created like this angry, evil little cult for them to feel safe and happy and whole.
Yeah.
And the lesson was you don't have to go to that angry, evil cult. You can go and be the land of misfit toys with other misfit toys and not have to burn shit down.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Quit
saying?
lighting shit on fire.
Yeah, bro, I am real good at burning it down, son. You want to fucking give me an opportunity to burn something down because we don't align? Bitch, I could show you.
Yep. Because I don't need nothing from nobody. I got this. These are my boots. I put them on this morning. You can fuck right off. I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And have since I was fucking 10 years old.
I have, and I know how to do this. So don't fucking tell me how to do it different.
Yeah.
And then when you start looking for help and you don't get the help you're looking for, now you're like, oh shit, what's going on? How do I do this?
Oh, wait, I guess it's time just to struggle through it until you figure it out. It's your time to be sad. So you know what? You don't even look for help because you're sad, because you know that's what's going to develop into the growth that you need. So you put yourself in this perpetual cycle of always being fucking sad and thinking that that's what's going to solve the problems.
Right. But
that
the
doesn't
sad
fix
feels good.
it. Well,
Sad
you're not
feels
right
good.
unless you're sad, because you're not supposed to be happy, because sad's your place of comfort, because that's your pathway. So
And-
when things are right, you're guilty because they're not supposed to be right. So you start finding areas and ways to make those things be wrong and start nitpicking on things that aren't actually wrong and enveloping this idea and this train of thought that this can't be correct because of these little things. And now everything's disproportionate.
Yep.
And you're upset and you're mad about things that don't fucking exist.
And you didn't realize all you needed to do was just find people that get you and cry and talk a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I sit here for 3 hours every week. Talk to my friends.
This shit is therapy for you every week, I'm sure,
Yeah, I don't think about it that way.
but just in a different way today. Because now you're in the hot seat. And me, Kyle, and Fawn are kind of sitting here like, ha ha ha, we didn't know this was gonna happen, but we love it.
Yeah, and I'm in. I'm hard in. Like, don't
Right,
get me
and-
wrong. Like, but
Right, you are. Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't be getting so open if you weren't in. But like now you actually
think
just got permission. You got permission from the universe that you're allowed to heal. And you got highlighted, like you just went to the next level. Like when you're playing video games and your character levels up, you didn't know you could have that strength and ability, but that next level brought you there. You just got leveled up to realizing, holy shit, there are answers out there. And the ones that I've been pursuing aren't the ones for me.
Remember when you said earlier that when you learn something new, it carves a path in your brain?
did you just watch my light bulb? Did you just watch my light bulb?
There's some electrons going on in there.
And this is why I'm so thankful to the reinventing community,
Yeah.
because like I have a platform to do this with other guys like me, other humans like me. And this is the loving Donna.
I love you, Donna. I'm Ben. Nice to meet you.
Ben's been crying a lot.
Yeah, he got me a bunch.
Robbie does that to people, especially like it's kind of funny because the back porch here. a
Oh
lot of
my
people
God.
cry on our back porch.
This is the back porch of power.
Technically,
Wait, how
yeah.
We're
Is
having a
it
porch
3
cry.
sides open? Do you have a lightning rod on top of the house?
No, that's the one thing we don't have.
What went up?
But we got a really sweet dick lighting situation that I didn't want to turn on because it was going to be distracting.
I mean, I
But Donna's got it on now.
Love it. Love
But yeah,
it.
dude, like, and that is one of my superpowers. Told you.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, like,
Oh, blast off. That's rad.
so one of my
right.
superpowers is being able to crack people open, man. And that's a power that you see very, very obviously, and that's a power that I
Yeah.
had a hard time settling into.
Bud, it was like everybody that really knows me knows I'm a marshmallow. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes
Right,
down
right.
to
The tough exterior.
yeah, it's
safety.
not a it is. It was a reason not to talk. It was a reason to avoid conversation. It was a reason to not change people's minds. And Fawn and I both are overly polite to battle the stereotype of every tattooed person is a criminal, and it's almost tongue-in-cheek polite. I will lay it on so thick because we grew up proper that I know that there's a default in conversation. You don't have to like, so that's kind of my favorite thing is watching people go, oh, you don't steal cars for a living, do you?
Well, and I think that's part of what brought me into this position with being the motivator, the healer, the teacher, the lover, the giver, because it's like, okay, I can go ahead and like play this tongue-in-cheek game and be like, like, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna fuck with your head by being better than you thought I was gonna be. But like really, and like there's nothing against that, right? Because that's very normal, used to that.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of a fun game to play. But like now that I realize my purpose is helping people, because this conversation started on like exactly like how I got into this. And I was talking about the tattooing, and then we kind of went elsewhere. Tattooing led me to coaching.
Right.
Because I've always been coaching people in the tattoo chair. And when you're a tattooer, you intuitively extract ideas out of people's brains. So when I'm talking to you and I hear purple golf ball, golf hat, and then the guy says, yeah, my dad's favorite color was purple and he loved golfing and this was his favorite hat, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. So I took that skill from tattooing, and because I make people cry all the time, whether they work at the studio or they come into the studio, or just in everyday life, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this coaching thing is real. This is meant to happen. This is supposed to happen. And now I finally got the strength, the power, and the ability to do it. And like, I just decided the other day, I'm launching a second group coaching. Like that's going to start actively happening within the next week or two. Because like, I'm enjoying the group coaching so much. I do one-on-one coaching that's high ticket. That's for the, for a few people that, feel like I'm the right fit for them and we can work together. But the group coaching is a little bit more financially palatable, less time dedicated to the program. And you're in a group atmosphere, so we're all learning together. And like I said, we're all growing together. So like, I am finally like, I was scared that nobody would show up. So every time somebody would enroll, Donna would be like, huh, remember when you thought nobody would come? And then when I broke 10 people, remember when you thought you weren't going to break 10 people? And like, so, now I have a 12-person coaching program right now, and we're all fucking loving it, and it's all great. And when we don't get it, we talk about it and we grow together. And it's like helping me with my home communication. It helps me with communicating with myself. And so like, now I'm just ready to keep doing it. And because I took that step, because I took that imperfect action, now I'm able and ready to take more action. And because I see the beauty that's happening in my life and others' lives, because I've decided to step into this role, I'm ready to do more of it. I'm like, this is one of the first times I talked about offering one-on-one for high ticket, right? It scares the shit out of me to talk about that because of my relationship with money. Nobody's going to pay me to coach them what I pay other people to coach me.
Right.
How stupid is that? That doesn't make any sense when you say it out loud, right?
That's the same as the tattooer never wants to raise his rate.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing good at this rate for 10 years. Why don't I like?
Because when you're fucking 75, you're going to need more than fucking $100 an hour, you idiot.
You're better now than you were 10 years ago. You know more now than you knew 10 years ago.
Exactly.
You've developed, you've grown, you've honed in, you've sharpened. you weren't offering one-on-one, or however it worked. You've developed these new things, like
Dude, and I did
set
offer,
your market, bud. Go for
I
it.
offered them in the past and they didn't work for me. You know, I got on like 2 or 3 fucking calls to try and enroll people. And like a lot of them wanted to talk to me because they liked me from TV or they liked me from social media. And they just kind of wanted to get next to somebody that like they looked up to, but they didn't want to actually get coached by me. And I didn't have any structure and I didn't put any thought really into it other than I got coached by a guy. And now I want to coach other people because I knew I needed to do this, but I was afraid to do it. So like I let that failure stop me for another couple years until I invested in more coaching and just gave myself more space to realize, holy cow, I am actually helping people. And I know I will start booking one-on-one clients before the end of the year comes.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I just have to allow myself to believe and receive. And so while this did a lot for you, you don't realize how much
that's hard to
it's done for
say.
me.
Even
Yeah.
believe and receive. Like that's not even a. No, you work and you earn.
No, you can believe and receive.
It's
And you can work and
it's
earn
just
alongside. It's the tyranny of or.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be this or that. It can be this and that. One of my coaches, he keeps saying, he's like, I see you as a tattooer. I see you as a coach, but they're not separate, dude.
Right.
Now I'm going to start. What's that?
Because you're not separate people.
Right.
You're the
And
same
so-
person no matter what you do.
Right. So now I'm announcing the end of my paternity leave soon on social media. And I'm going to go back into the shop only 2 days a week. And I'm going to be marketing tattoo soul sessions. Because I only offer full day rates. Because if I'm going to the shop, you need to book me for the whole day because he's more important than being at the shop all the time. So I've got to manage my time in the studio importantly and properly. And that way I can give the love, attention, and preference to the people that are in the studio. So now if you're working with me all day, now that gives you the opportunity to crack open, heal some things, and leave with a souvenir that is this new sweet dick tattoo.
Yeah. Well, not even that. You're giving the client the respect as well. So
Yeah.
you're looking at it as you're giving your family the respect. No, and that is absolutely 100% true and the most important thing of all of this. But you're also allowing your space to give the client the focus that they deserve and that they are seeking and paying for and wanting to be involved in. So when you get half-assed from somebody, when you build this expectation up in your head and you go in somewhere, that's where you breed grounds for disappointment. So if you are dedicating 100%, you're not focused in 5 other areas, you're not doing 14 other things, you're able to spend that time. You're doing what's right by your client as well.
Right.
It is just as beneficial for them as it is for you. And that's a different perspective.
When you're in a walk-in situation, I can give 10 people a bit of my heart, but if I give one person my whole heart for the whole day,
Right.
imagine what kind of beautiful things can come from that.
Right.
You know
What's it? Don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And like I would love to see other people marketing healing and tattooing in one. Why am I not the guy doing it?
Yeah. There's other people that do it, and I'll hook you up with them off air. I don't know how much they want me to name drop them on air, so like I'll definitely send you that love. But like it is exactly that. People that are using that as their therapy sessions. I know someone that's literally in school right now using it as a thesis to build upon for using tattoo as healing. I mean, it's been a outside of the United States, tattooing's been a birthright and a rite of therapy and a rite of passage and reasons to calm and be part of a community. And it's a different thing. And if we take that spirituality and put it back into it and use it as a time to be open and honest and vulnerable and
Yeah.
I felt that. And
Yeah.
and there's a lot of other people that look at it that way as well. I just don't know how much freedom I have to discuss their and I don't want to disrespect anybody.
It's cool to know that it's out there. It's cool to know that I'm tapping into something that the world needs. One of the statements that I read every day is I am on great stages delivering the message that the world needs, delivering my unique message that the world needs. Because I'm destined to speak on a Tony Robbins stage. That's just something I have to do. It's a goal of mine, right? Like,
Love it.
I used to read Tony Robbins books. Brendan Burchard was taught under Tony Robbins. So like, it's just a very big thing for me. And Tony is amazing. He's brilliant. He's intelligent as fuck. And he gets the point. And so like, that's one of the things I know I'm going to do. And I manifest that. And so like, manifesting the soul sessions and finding other people like Tony Robbins in the tattoo industry that are doing the soul sessions makes me realize, holy shit, there's one dude in Florida. He does a lot of this work. And we found each other through the internet. So it's like, it's really
the
cool.
amount of shops that are named ink therapy.
Yes.
I love it. No disrespect, but it surprises me that, I would just start Googling that and calling those shops and say, hey, what is, who wrote the name? Let me talk to them.
Right.
Because
Right.
why are you considered this therapy, and what spirituality are you providing? Not the whole shop. I get it. Some people work at a shop because it's a busy shop, not because they believe in the mantra. So talk to me, the person that wrote the mantra. And if you believe that ink therapy is not just a catchy fucking name, let's link up. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
develop that, and let's put a program in place to where you can offer support. Because do you know how many times someone said that I can talk to somebody that's in my community about this to me? 0. One fucking time did I think to look inside our family for this help.
And when I
That's
was
not what this is. This is
when I
fun
was-
zone, bro. I come
I
here
was
to
dying
ignore my
for it,
feelings.
dude, when I was dying for it, I knew I needed to create it.
Right. Right. And that's what this is for me. This is my distraction. This is where I come to laugh. This is where I come to smoke pot and be fucking myself and talk about my day and be open and be myself and laugh and be rude to Kyle because he knows I love him.
But you didn't know you could come here to heal.
Wasn't looking for that.
You
was
were. You
coming
didn't
here to-
know it was here.
Right. I didn't know to look inside for it. Like,
Yeah.
this was my distraction. I
Now it gets to be a modality to healing rather than just a distraction.
yeah. Which, I mean, all honesty, it was always the search for common ground, commonality, like-minded people, feeling of community, feeling of wealth, feeling of involvement, feeling of love, that's what everybody that's trying to join this club's looking for. You don't get a tattoo because you have this design urge to get a tattoo. No one wakes up with never seen one in their life and thinks, I think I'm just going to draw on my skin today. No, you see a culture and you see a group and you see an outsidedness and you see a different point of view and you see an outside of the mainstream that you really just want to have some sort of connection with because there's some sense of family and longing and belonging and subculture that you're allowed to vibe with. And all you got to do is show up to be involved in it. And that's rare. And I don't care what anybody says. That's why we all got tattoos, because we saw somebody that was older than us that we thought was cool as fuck that had a fucking tattoo.
Yep.
That's why we all did it. I don't care. I will argue with any other person that says otherwise.
I love
No one
cover-
looked at a tattoo magazine and was like, I don't even like that. And then went and got a bunch of tattoos. It doesn't happen.
I love covering my body with tattoos because it gives me control over exactly what I want my body to look like.
Same.
You know, dude,
Same.
when I see the tiger tail from my back piece, when I look over my shoulder, I'm like, damn, I got my back piece started, sucker. You know,
Yep.
like I got
Yep.
this new forearm jam, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm covering my old sleeves with beautiful, new, amazing, high quality tattoos. I don't have to look like a tattooer anymore. I get to look like a tattoo collector now.
So the next time you're on this show, because
Yeah.
it's going to be soon,
Dig it.
we're going to talk about your tattoo collection,
Yeah.
because
It's a long
there's
one.
a journey in the recover,
Yeah.
and there's a journey in finding the elevation, and there's a journey in what it takes to recognize a skill set in somebody that's just not a tattooer, but somebody that can cover whatever the fuck is on your arm. And I think that is a whole nother ball of wax that I would love to delve through.
Oh yeah, dude. I've got this one. It's kind of hard to see right now. Let me see if I can. It's from the video game Ratchet and Clank, and it's
All right.
a robot. But like,
Love it.
he's direct. Like you can see the bear up there. That's the old
Solid as
tattoo.
shit.
He
Okay.
blasted the fuck over that. Yeah, it's super solid and it's still healing. That's Jake Swift, Saturday Morning Tattoos on Instagram. Jake Swift on Facebook. Phenomenal tattooer. He's in Cocoa, right? Like 30 minutes from me. And he was awesome and beautiful and fucking he like I reached out that I told him I wanted to get tattooed, and then a couple months later he reached out and he's like, why don't I just tattoo you at your shop and do a guest spot? And I was like, that's brilliant. I love this.
How perfect is that?
Right. So like now I have a new friend and a new artist that I can respect and fucking kick around ideas with. And he's really growth minded. And you know, it's a beautiful journey together with him to do this. So yeah, man, my tattoo journey is nutty. It's really nutty. I got my first tattoo when I was 14 and I'm 41. So
love it.
I'm
a big fan of digging through that because we all started for different reasons. We all got things that we thought we liked. That just watching the availability of what can be done with tattoos over the past 10 years. And when you started 15, 20 years ago, like I've got a lot of American traditional stuff. So like now watching all this hyper realism and stuff that wasn't even an option 20 years ago, being like,
well, I remember when hyperrealism came out and I used to think that it just meant color outline. Now I realize, you know? So like a lot of the initial color realism fell apart, you know, and now
it did.
And now it's like, okay, tattooers like myself that only design tattoos that last. And if I do a tattoo that doesn't last, it's because you specifically asked for that.
Right.
We've learned how to make hyperrealism an actual solid tattoo. Because we take
just like
from traditional and all the other things and mash them in that and more black. And you know, like,
and more black. Isn't that always the answer? Let me just that's just like we've talked about the watercolor fad. We've talked about the black and gray, early black and gray. That's early black and blob, as I like to call it. So like there's a lot of stuff that 10 years ago I'd have been like, yeah, that looks good now, but I'm cool. You do you. I'm gonna stick with this boldness.
And you know what? The thing is, that's always going to be a part of it because like the popular stuff right now is micro and no outlined at all, or color outlined, or like lots of white and yellow packed in. You know,
just
like,
packed.
If you're olive skinned like me, white and yellow aren't sticking without contrast around them, bro. So like, be careful what you do.
You got to stop it from migrating as well, which a lot of people don't understand.
Unless you don't care, unless you just want it now and you know that your body is dying. If you want art that's going to stay perfect forever, you know, you want art that's going to stay perfect forever, have me put it on a canvas or a piece of paper and hang it on your wall where no sunlight's going to hit.
Yeah.
But if you want it to actually like be on your dying organism that is your body, then guess what, dog? You might want to go back into that shit every 10 or 15 years to
give
like
a little brush up.
Because dude, if you get a candy paint job on your fucking 64 Impala and you don't park it in the garage and not fucking polish it all the time, you're going to need a new candy paint job in 5 or 10 years.
And that's on you.
And that's on you.
Because you could have kept it polished.
Right. You know, right. But the thing is, even worse, you can't keep your body the way that you can keep a car.
Right. Bro, I'm a backpacker and I'll be outside in like, you know, middle of July with long sleeves and long pants on and a hood up, walking by people in like tank tops and shit. They're just looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, expensive skin, buddy. Expensive skin.
What school is he gonna go shoot up? What's up with that guy? Like, what?
Did you see him? He had on pants. It's 105. Little do they know they are the latest and greatest technology of moisture wicking, air cooling, air conditioned, pre-packed fucking $9,000 hiking pants to keep my balls dry. Oh no, we got frozen face. We've had zero glitch this whole time, and right at the end, refresh him, Kyle. Refresh him.
Oh, I can't do anything about that. It's out of my control.
Oh no.
Very true.
That makes me sad. I don't want to end like that.
I'm back to us, Robbie.
you guys could take a few moments and like him haw and sing a few songs and see if he comes back, or you could just wrap up and we could throw Robbie's credentials and stuff out for him.
I will beatbox for 48 seconds.
Yeah,
You
pull up
beatbox while I
Robbie's
pull his stuff
Instagram
up.
and maybe he'll reconnect. You're doing a great job, Ben.
Oh, wait, no, I'm back.
And he's back. Beatboxing always works.
Just in time.
I was like, I don't want to end our conversation like this. We're gonna pause and wait a minute. Oh,
We have gotten to the wrap-up time though, Robbie. This has been the most wonderful conversation to listen to.
Absolutely, yeah.
I thought we were going to talk so much more about like, you know, client relations and like being the safe space for our clients and like the way we can help and share ourselves with them. And like, I really thought that was the rabbit hole we were going to go down. So Ben, I promise this was not a setup, but it has
I don't
been
believe you.
wonderful journey of a conversation to listen to.
It's been
You and I
magical
have
to listen.
personally and privately talked about so many of those things. And it was really cool for you to be brave enough to just share so openly the way that you did without any hesitation. I was shocked at your vulnerability, and that was pretty beautiful.
I've been proud of you the whole time as well, opening up. I know it's not easy for you, but
Yeah, it's,
yeah.
I'm really sad that we lost Robbie.
Yeah. But so please, everyone, check out Robbie Ripoll. Check out his artwork. Right here on Reinventing the Tattoo as well, every Monday night. Let's talk about feelings with Robbie Ripoll.
I already told him that he has to come back.
He definitely will be
so
back.
we can go down all of Fawn's pre-planned bunny holes when she's here to prompt them.
Well, odds are it probably won't go to plan, even if
I won't cry so much the next time, okay? I promise.
it's okay. You guys have had me a little bit leaky too. So like I said, I've been following along the whole time. So
All right.
Well, you want
it's been an
wrap it
adventure
up,
I wasn't
guys?
ready for.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a good place to wrap
you
it
did
up.
great.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Wind
thank you-
us down, Kyle. Say the words.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. You should-
Robbie, Extra Espresso, love you, man. This was some shit I wasn't ready for. We need to link up. We'll figure out how to do that. Talk to you soon, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
Yeah, thank
See you
you.
next week. Not so frustrating.
Real quick, Robbie,
We just signed
wrap
off.
it up. So say goodbye to the peoples.
Say your goodbyes and
Okay.
tell us where we can find you.
So you can find me on all social media platforms, Robbie Ripoll, ROBBIE, RIPOLL. You can find me on YouTube and the other social media. So the Rad Movement is also on YouTube, and it's also on social media platforms. So _Rad_Movement on Instagram, and the Rad Movement on Facebook. I moderate my personal stuff a lot more closely, and I'm kind of like merging them together in a way, but like trying to produce content on all of it. I'm still doing this all on my own. So if anyone's interested in coaching and growing together, reach out to me on my social media platforms, shoot me a DM, and we can grow from there. I know I have the radmovement.com. I haven't done anything with that in a while, so be on the lookout for that. I gotta get in there and do the things, but yeah, my social media is the best way to find me. And like I said, I'm still moderating all of that myself, and that's a job in and of itself. But yeah,
Sure.
I try to respond to everyone as quickly as possible, and I'm always here to help and give love and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Extra Espresso, love you for me, man. Like this was a ride I wasn't ready for. I figured we'd get a little deep, but I wasn't ready for a night of back to back. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you.
Dude, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so excited that you guys wanted me to be a part of this, and I'm excited to have some more communication in the future.
Always back soon, my friend. We're definitely going to set this up again.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. Have a great night.
Awesome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, brother. I'm so glad you got back on.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Be
I couldn't
safe.
not
Peace
say
out.
goodbye, you know?
Right. That's what I was